Oh, okay. Well, it's on. And then we'll pop out the chat.
My brace stopped at 5 in the morning. Calm the spreads before the storming. Biting my nails at emergency exits. Tell me where is tomorrow? The day has come. The night won't let us see the sun. The rain will last till the next millennium. I hate to say both are here to stay in this world we share. Still it's not hard in the slightest. You can't ever sleep and you're tripping like this. I'm not gonna criticize it even if I care. Thrown in your fantasy. I sing the show. The things that you're imagining. What do you say? The maze is twisting, ever twisting, till you plan to see what you're missing. Sound of a bill.
This is a cover of the My Hero Academia first intro song. Luckily not DRM, so we're not going to get copyright struck.
Some of them will never really get it. Some of them will say they do it then pretending. I hate to say, both are here to stay in this world we share. The world has not been heaven since. The world is not in hell just yet. Existing in between a silver lining there. The cards will show what tomorrow brings. The wind will blow. The future it is carrying. What will it be? The maze is twisting, ever twisting, till you plan to see what you're missing. Sound of a bill from the tiny adventurer sings a new beginning. Are you sure that you're not shaking? Such uncertain roads you're taking. Every step that you take it is changing you. Where is tomorrow? The day has come. You know you want to keep on believing what your open eyes have been seeing. Yes, you can.
See? Told you.
It is like that. Well, I just got back from work.
I just got done eating.
That might have helped too.
Yeah. Where's my fancy standing desk?
Oh, do you have that at work?
No.
Oh,
You're funny. I work for a nonprofit.
I mean, I work for a completely for-profit, and I don't have a fancy standing desk. Although most of the time they tell you just to stand anyway. So.
I mean, I definitely do stand.
If you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
Oh.
That's a quote from that one boss that everybody hates. I'm sure that's just a boss joke. Or more accurately, that boss is a joke. Ah! Got him!
Got him. Well, I am the boss, so.
Oh. Have you gotten to play that card yet?
No, 'cause, well, I told them in a nicer way to clean.
We're gonna do this one first. Oh, this is weird. I didn't realize in stereo it would only play on my left one. Okay, there it goes. The song was just only in my left ear. It fixed itself.
Correct.
It's like a
Get
design
it?
choice. Oh, we can start the timer? And we're gonna start it like on time? That's never happened before.
Nani?
Nani the fuck?
Wait, I think I can. Oh, I can't. I can tilt my monitor back a bit so I can stand. Hell yeah.
Demacia never starts on time? We're gonna be like right on time today, State Farmman. I don't want to hear any negativity today.
We've put hours of preparation into this cast.
It's been almost an hour of preparation, which was completely
Hours.
wasn't us just sitting here talking to each other about worlds, you know.
And sharing memes. Memes and worlds. Unfortunately, there's no pick'ems for the few games we're about to see.
There would have been, except that nobody wanted to participate in it. So
What?
we used to do
best.
we used to do pick'ems on the podcast every week, and then like
You could make like a
literally
Google form.
yeah, like literally no one wanted to actually do it. So
Oh, yeah, I totally would have made like a Google form,
yeah, we do.
and you'd be able to select it.
Yeah, we did. And then we went from 70 people the first week we did it to 14 the last one that we did. So that, and they were conspicuously always correct. It's like they knew the results of the games before they voted on them.
That's when you have like a deadline before the game starts.
Unfortunately, our weeks don't work that way very well.
No?
Nah. It's
Like
okay.
once you get both of the group, have like a day open.
So I'd posted on the Discord on like Sunday night, Monday morning, and then no one would do it. So then I'd just like, we'd be sitting there on like 3 or 4 votes, so I just put it on the podcast anyway. And by Wednesday, like half or 3/4 of the games have already been played.
You just start filling out forms by yourself.
I'm gonna make Twitch chat get this wrong. I'm gonna fill out all the predictions wrong. I was
This is
keeping
kinda
up.
Nice.
I was keeping up with Twitch chat. Like I was only like 4 games back when we stopped,
Funny.
but they're hacking, so I can't let that happen.
This is kind of nice, tilting both of my monitors back and standing. Just saying.
You're gonna have that energy. You're gonna be like the
I'm going
LCS
to not
casters.
fall asleep on you. It's been some busy days.
Get hype, jumping up and down.
Oh my god! They
Faker,
lost
what
again.
was that?
What was that? Oh my god! Back when you could pick the same champion.
Maris always with the dope music. Yeah, I always I try to deliver. And then every once in a while I run out and I go back to the Electric Sheep like chill beats playlist.
Nice.
You're so ready for the
found it.
V&D versus Steve's game today. You've been looking forward to it all season. Man, me too, but unfortunately I have some bad news for you.
Oh shoot, that's right.
I'd love to start with like a meme game, but doesn't look like it's in the cards today. This is more annoying than I remember it being. Kind of disappointed.
What?
I went with the gourmet race from Kirby Superstar,
Uh-huh.
but it's like super.
I have my Otso Live radio playlist to
Oats.
draw music from.
Otso Live Radio. It's probably not all DRM for you though. I have to actually pick and choose.
It is definitely not.
They didn't play, that's okay. At least your pick'ems are still intact. KT going all the way, baby.
Ah,
See, you're the problem
See-
with this. You got hyped about KT. Oh, timer's up. I should do something about that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final week of the regular season. I'm apparently at 3 seconds. Let me fix that. There we go. The final week of the regular season. This is the Demacia Conference's last-ditch efforts to qualify for playoffs. My name is Maris Dematic. With me is Otso.
Hello, everybody.
I was trying to think of like a fancy way to introduce you, and I just failed immediately. So,
That's okay.
for those of you who don't know Otso, and that's probably most of you, he's my goon, basically. He's in Platinum League, plays AD carry. I like having him on our cast a lot, but unfortunately Wing not able to be with us for the last one. KT is apparently a blocked term. What?
KT's what?
I had to put KT through the auto mod filter. Anyway,
Okay.
our first game of the day is going to be between Tastes Like Purple and SEAL Team 6. TLP has already locked in the number 2 seed. They're sitting at 5-1, very comfortable right now. And ST6 has everything to play for. They're 2-4. They need a win and some help in order to qualify for playoffs. If you're ready, Mr. Otso.
I'm not. I have a bug with mine, so give me 1 second here.
Okay. We'll take 1 second then.
It won't let me open the scoreboard or anything. I might just be destined to watch this without a scoreboard by the looks of it.
I can't close chat, so we are going to have all chat during the game. So it's a
Yeah, the interface visibility won't let me change anything.
awesome. Would you prefer I do a screen share for you, or would you rather just go with it?
I just found a shortcut for it, and I gotta... No, that's not it.
It should be
Oh.
O and O to bring up the scoreboard,
I did, but it only shows me the gold.
and then X.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, we're good. All right. Are you at 0
I'm
seconds?
ready. Yeah.
All right. We'll go ahead in 3, 2, 1, start. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are ready to go. On to Summoners for game number 1. On the blue side of the map, wearing the blue health bars this game, will be Tastes Like Purple. In the top lane, the Zister on Jarvan. Panther, 553,212 in the jungle on Zac. Toe Knuckles in mid playing Malphite, and No Mind and End in the bottom lane on the Yasuo and Janna combination. I have PTSD currently because of this team comp, but we're going to power through that for the time being. Okay. Nothing's going to happen. On the top half of the map, wearing the red health bars this game, are going to be SEAL Team 6 in the top lane, Alercion on Poppy. I'm Heimel in the jungle on Rammus. Xander of Astora in the mid lane playing Irelia. And then our bot lane combo, Charging Badger OP and the Albinosaur on Malzahar and Sona.
Kind of curious if this invade's gonna go anywhere. It looks like they're just getting some deep vision for now, hanging around for a bit.
Yeah, they got spotted out. TLP apparently very aware of this invasion pattern. They have the ward in the tri-bush, and they haven't seen them exit, although now they're going to walk into Alercion and Heimel in the top of the bush. The fight breaks out. Alercion and Heimel taken pretty low, but they're going to jump on its first blood for Tastes Like Purple. No Mind trying to track down another kill, but he's surrounded by 3 members of SEAL Team 6. He'll flash forward for the tornado on Heimel. Last auto attack not going to do it. More autos coming out from Albinosaur and Charging Badger OP, but Xander of Astora has joined the fight. It's 1-for-1 as the Malzahar picks up the return kill.
Yeah, not entirely sure how worth it that is. Now Yasuo has no sums along with... Well, there's no AD carries in this game. What is it? Well, both bot lane carries without sums now.
Both of them the beneficiaries as well, picking up the first blood gold. So Yasuo goes back, buys a dagger and an extra health pot. Malzahar, well, by going back... Oh! There was a solo kill in mid lane. I was busy looking at items, and Xander Vistora able to solo out Toe Knuckles. It's 2-1 for SEAL Team 6.
Now that just slightly pushes them in favor now. Toe Knuckles shouldn't lose too much CS being able to teleport back to the mid lane, but that's still not a kill you want to give over, especially to an Irelia.
Xander Vistora is still getting very aggressive, dashing in onto Toe Knuckles. The Dark Souls namesake player. Going very aggressive the way you need to through that game.
For sure. I'm looking at all the lane matchups right now, and I'm super curious about how this bot lane's gonna go, because meanwhile, however, Rammus is looking for a gank.
Yeah, Xander Vistora is already taking up the actually, Heimel somehow grabbed tower aggro. Rammus not very tanky super early on. You need a couple points into that hardened shell or whatever the W is called in order to feel tanky at all.
Probably looking to extend the lead with Irelia, but if I'm Toe Knuckles, I would definitely be hanging back trying to soak up some experience at this point. I don't really see Malphite soloing Irelia anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's going to go for more of an AP style build and make sure that they have a second thread, or if we'll see like the full AD out of the Zister on the Jarvan in top lane. Alercion though, going to get the stun against the wall, pins him there, keeps him inside with the W, just trying not to let him escape, but the EQ will eventually get Zister away in the top lane.
And the nice thing about that though is neither of them used Flash. However, Zister, whatever, does not have teleport to get back to lane, so that is quite a bit of early experience that he's going to be missing out on.
We haven't even really talked about the bot lane. Albinosaur is running Dark Harvest on Sona for that little bit of extra poke and scaling.
I suppose.
Charging Badger OP is playing Malzahar just standardly in the bot lane, which wasn't one of those champions that we even really saw down there even during the like double bruiser mage meta. People have called it the meta that ended League of Legends, or like Burly Bros meta. I'm not sure what you want to go with.
I mean, between Reckless and I quitting League of Legends for a bit because our role got nullified, yeah, I could see that. But is this normal for these two teams to pick non-AD carry champions?
No Mind has played Yasuo a couple of times this season. I don't know about SEAL Team 6. I don't think they've actually run a non-traditional AD carry bot lane.
Interesting. So we'll have to see if it pays off for them or not, especially against a Yasuo who is the regular in the bot lane carry position compared to the Malzahar, which we haven't seen as much.
Yeah, Malzahar, I will say, Malzahar is a great solo lane into Yasuo, because
for sure
Yasuo wants to just dash around, be super flashy, and do things, and Malzahar gets to say, no, you're not doing that for 2.5 seconds, in fact. Plus, they have that able to combo in with the Rammus on a potential gank, and you have a potential where you're one carry, if that's what you're going all in on the Yasuo for, won't be able to move for like 5 seconds. He's going to dash under tower. The Ignite going to tick down Albinosaur. The other Ignite from N is going to tick down Charging Badger, but he'll be okay thanks to the Summoner heal. But here comes Heimel into the bot lane on the Rammus. He immediately finds a Tornado and then a second Tornado to follow it up, and he'll have to disengage. Yeah,
not quite respecting the Yasuo damage in the early game. Probably didn't realize that his Ignite had just come back up, as that has a shorter cooldown than Flash. And Sona being her squishy self in the early game is a prime target for it. But between Yasuo and Janna, they have a lot of both, because it's Yasuo, they have engage and disengage. So I see this being a really problematic lane for Heimel to even get into to try and gank.
Yeah, and quietly, the issue with picking Zac as a jungler is his relatively weak early game. He needs a couple of levels in that Elastic Slingshot in order to really make an impact, and he's kind of gotten to just chill because his lanes have been... his top lane and bottom lane have both been shoving, doing pretty well. Mid lane, it's Malphite against Irelia, so I guess you're just going to exist for a minute. But he hasn't been under pressure to really make a play, and that's allowed him to scale up and hopefully, you know, get a couple points into that Elastic Slingshot and start to make some ganks happen. And the top lane, Alercion, getting a little bit better at these trades. Now, Heimel is here going to land the taunt. The EQ not going to get him out to safety as Heimel takes the kill.
Yeah, I was just about to compliment, is it Zister or Zeister, so I can pronounce it correctly?
We've gone with Zister all season and haven't been corrected.
We're going with Zister. I was about to compliment him because even though he had that super early back against Poppy earlier, he's ahead. He was ahead 15 some CS. Now that gap's slowly closing because of this gank, but for the situation he was put into, I was quite impressed with the lead that he was able to garner.
Yeah, meanwhile, the pressure from No Mind and End is really exceptional here in the bottom lane. They don't have any wards up currently, so that could be a place to gank for Heimel if he sees that opportunity, but for the time being, they don't have a whole lot of crowd control to offer before level 6. Now finally charging Badger OP has the not Malefic Visions, it's the Death Stare. I can't even think of the name. Anyway, Albinosaur's in trouble. He's level 4. There's the Death Stare coming up. He's in tower range, but the flash away from No Mind will keep him alive. He hits level 6 as well, and the Janna ult will save him. He'll go back in with the Steel Tempest, and that'll be the double kill. Or the last breath, excuse me. I'm mixing up my ability names. But No Mind picks up the double kill in bot lane. Xander Vistora and Heimel are in pursuit.
But we won't look at that.
But we're not even going to watch that. Yeah. Xander Vistora throws the Vanguard's Edge in, trying to get the damage onto No Mind, but he's burning down to Ignite. He will take the kill, thanks to his ultimate. Heimel powerballs in just to say, okay.
Oh man, what an extensive fight that was. Actually, No Mind played that brilliantly, kind of weaving in and out of the fight, taking advantage of the fact that even though Malzahar was level 6 before him, charging Badger was, Albinosaur is still only level 4, so there's no pressure coming from him at this point. He's like an extra minion to Yasuo. So he was able to pick up, No Mind was able to pick up a couple kills there before finally getting shut down by a good roam by Xander.
Yeah, and Sona not exactly known for her defensive capabilities. The health got nerfed the last time that she was actually kind of strong in the meta, and she has, for comparison's sake, she has less health than a melee minion at level 1. Oof. And it doesn't really get a whole lot better as the game scales.
No, it
doesn't. So if you're not picking up a little bit of health in your build, which Albinosaur hasn't yet, nor should he necessarily, but with that, you're really squishy. There's really no other way to put that.
Yeah, and with both of these comps, the way they're built, if I'm allowed to talk, well,
Panther gonna jump in, grabs the stretching strike. He'll knock the bot lane together. That'll use the last breath as well. They'll abduct Albinosaur. That's 1 kill already for Tastes Like Purple. But now Xander Vistora collapsing from the other side. The taunt lands onto Panthers. He's taken pretty low. He'll get blobleted. They have the Nether Grasp available as well. But now Toe Knuckles is here as he lands the Malphite ult. They'll turn it back onto Xander Vistora. It's a 2 for 0 in favor of Tastes Like Purple. The Steel Tempest picks up the kill for No Mind as well.
What an excellent fight. What I was about to say is that these two teams are really built around these team fights. And now as everybody's slowly hitting level 6 and their power spikes, they want to come together for these fights. And Panther with an excellent, I'm not saying all those numbers by the way, Panther with the excellent engage, flashing into it, knocking him together, giving Yasuo, enabling him to use his ultimate to pick up a couple kills, is going to allow them to not even gain more pressure in the lane, but also pick up an Ocean Drake.
Yeah, I just say the numbers at the beginning for the meme, because even since like Xbox Live days, like way back when on my 360 playing my Halo 3, there was just something about people who put numbers in their name when it wasn't necessary that just like rubbed me the wrong way. Another one is rotating caps in names. You always have to say those like you're having an aneurysm. We don't have anybody like that in the league right now, so that's good. But for whatever reason, StarCraft players are the worst about that. I used to cast StarCraft 2 all the time, and like every other name had rotating caps in it, and you just... Anyway.
Bit of a tangent there.
Bit of a tangent there. Anyway, so the numbers, you have to make sure that it specifies exactly what number of Panther he is.
Yes.
Heimel interrupts the EQ from Zister, taking him under tower with the taunt. Nice little play there by Heimel to cause Zister some extra...
Panther's looking for the counter gang.
Yeah, Panther's here. Alercion just goes in to try to separate them. Heimel gets pulled back in with the stretching strike. The Poppy buys just a little bit of distance. He's doing a lot of damage to Zister. He can finish off one kill with the Sunfire Cape, and they'll turn it back onto Panther. The Elastic Slingshot tries to get him out to safety. Flash forward, though, from Alercion, and he'll grab the double kill.
Yeah, Zister and Panther kind of tunnel vision there. It was an excellent play from Heimel, burning the flash of Zister. Should have just left, but instead they turn it around thinking with Panther there, they'd be able to pick up a kill, but they tunneled way too hard onto the Poppy and, onto the Rammus. And instead, Poppy's just able to sit there and beat on him the entire time, eventually picking up the double kill.
It wasn't even a Sunfire Cape. I'm not exactly sure what picked up that first kill. I just assumed. Shouldn't assume, it makes an ass out of yourself. Anyway, Xander Vistora sees his moment on Toe Knuckles. Even through the exhaust is able to solo him down. Now No Mind's going crazy in the bot lane. The Nethergrass keeping him locked up into the crescendo. But No Mind is still alive thanks to the healing. Charging Badger OP finally able to finish him off. But the trade kill for End as he gets the Zephyr down onto the Albinosaur. So it's 1 for 2 in favor of SEAL Team 6 in the bottom lane.
And that's the big difference between that matchup. No Mind and End, with the early game pressure, we're able to pick up a few kills as you want to do. But now with Charging Badger and Albinosaur having their ultimates up, they can use them together and actually pick up some kills now. So it's all about execution rather than the power level spikes at this point.
Alercion's getting really good trades here in the top lane. He's got almost the completed Trinity Force. The extra part of the Hammer Shock will take him down. Alercion is on a killing spree in the top lane.
Oh man, trading blows back and forth, and it always seems like Draven has a 15 CS lead, but there's nothing really going on there. It seems like Poppy's always coming out on top of these trades, and they slowly are accumulating to the point where she's just able to solo kill him every single time.
She's gonna go back. She has not quite enough for the Phage, so not gonna see that Trinity Force just yet. Picks up the Ninja Tabby. I couldn't think of that name.
That one item.
The one item. The boots that make you tankier. For his part, Toe Knuckles, we haven't even looked at mid. Like, there's been 2 solo kills, and that's the only time it's even panned to mid. Xander Vistora getting the better of the trade with Toe Knuckles. Toe Knuckles has the Rod of Ages finished up for himself, and Xander Vistora is just a combined cost shy of Trinity Force.
Yeah, it's difficult at this point, because as a Malphite, especially in the mid lane...
The spell shield from Charging Badger OP able to keep him safe from the abduct.
Oh, my directed camera was like focused on mid lane because it wasn't on directed camera anymore, so I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Oh, man.
Man, Alercion is just giving it to Zisters up here in the top lane. Panther's looking for something in bottom, though. Grabs the Stretching Strike onto the Albinosaur. Not able to grab the second part. Now Heimel is here as the crescendo lands only onto End. This is a really split-apart fight. Charging Badger OP can't get in with the Nether Grasp, so it's just the disengaging Sona ult, we'll pretend, from the Albinosaur.
Basically, gotta regroup after that with a team coming at you from both sides, and if you're not all on the same page, that fight's just gonna go terribly wrong. So it was a smart choice to back off and regroup. This Iruya, though, just walking all over Malphite. Poor Knuckles.
Yeah, Toe Knuckles. We'll see that AP Malphite come into play later, I'm sure. But the Nether Grasp right under the turret, but he gets knocked up by the tornado, so they're not able to chain anything onto Panther. But now Heimel and Xander Vistora are here. They taunt in Panther. Where's the E coming out? It misses from Xander Vistora. He doesn't get the resets. Panther's really low, but he's still got his res available. The ult from Xander Vistora, but does he have a dash to actually go in? The last breath. Not able to pick one up, but Toe Knuckles is here as they take one in return. It's 1 for 1 so far as Alercion's joined the fray. He'll just knock back Toe Knuckles and we'll call it a day off the 1 for 1. Oh, maybe Heimel once more looking for Toe Knuckles. The stopwatch is forced out.
Oh no, that's always feels bad. It's good respect, but that stopwatch isn't coming back anytime soon, fortunately. Meanwhile, Zeister has managed to get a great push into the top lane, especially with, what is that, Alercon? I haven't yet...
Alercion.
Alercion. Nice names, guys. These are awesome. Because they had to TP into the bot lane, they did eventually get bot turret. for the first turret gold and the Infernal Drake, but luckily TLP Tastes Like Purple will be able to pick up a turret in the top lane to try and match it somehow.
I was getting hyped for the Janna Tornado steal. It wasn't like super close, but it was worth noting. Xander Restores found Zister, just auto-attacking him down, has the dash available, the flash over the wall, needs one more auto to finish him off, and he'll get it. Xander Vestora with his 3rd solo kill of the game.
That's it feels bad. Zeister just not able to really contribute to his team at all. I feel like he'd have a large impact if he was allowed to leave his lane and actually group with his team. Maybe now with this turret down he'll be able to, but with the 0-4 deficit he's in, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, he has the teleport available and Alercion doesn't, so we could definitely see TLP set up something, especially around the bottom side of the map. The Flash Nethergrass, but No Mind already has the QSS. The respect the Malzahar tax already paid.
And that's something I'm betting Charging Badger didn't realize, because that's definitely not worth. QSS is a lot shorter cooldown than your Flash, and so that's why it's always important to push tab sometimes.
It's even a shorter cooldown than the ultimate, which is the saddest part.
Oh, for sure. Sure.
I'm not like huge into this. I'm not going to die on this soapbox, but I think QSS should be just a little bit longer of a cooldown so that you can get 2 ults off on that person if you play it correctly. Anyway, the jump in from Zister is he's just trying to buy time underneath his turret. Xander Vestora is taking this up. He'll grab the turret, but will he die in the process? The Vanguard's Edge is able to get him reset, and Xander Vestora lives through the tower dive. They'll pick up the kill on the Zister and the top lane turret, and ST6 has the 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, this is when the game's going to start snowballing in their favor, because if we look at the kills on each of the team, top lane definitely in the favor of SEAL Team 6. Iroya in the mid lane with 6 kills on herself, and Charging Badger also having 3. All the kills are going over, and with the Infernal Drake, there's just going to be so much damage coming out of this team.
Yeah, you worry a little bit. They don't have that, like, super late game insurance. You have nobody who's going to be stacking crit or anything like that. So you are kind of on a clock with the SEAL Team 6 composition, but if you can keep stacking Infernals, I didn't look at what the next dragon was. It's another Infernal. So if you can get that if you're SEAL Team 6, you should be in a pretty good spot.
For sure, and honestly though, if I'm looking at this from both sides, Tastes Like Purple has a really good team fighting comp, especially built around their Yasuo. Zister, even though he's behind, can still jump in and lock people up with the Creator, while Panther dives in along with Toe Knuckles. Easily, they should be able to find a pick and have Yasuo ult off of it and clean up a team fight. It's just a matter of that execution, and if they can catch out maybe not the tank on the side of SEAL Team 6.
No Mind will go ahead and grab the turret in the bottom lane for TLP. That'll put the gold a little bit back even. But now Heimel is here looking for No Mind, the flash taunt forward. The QSS is here though, and they'll grab the suppression. They're just going to layer CC onto the Janna. Might as well. They grab that kill. But now Panther's here looking for the abduct. Does No Mind choose to ult off of it? They've only grabbed Heimel though. The damage isn't quite there. Heimel is still alive as he's ticking down to ignite. The heal from Albinosaur will keep him topped off. In the mid lane, Xander Vestora has grabbed the mid lane turret for himself.
Yeah, like I said, you gotta grab someone besides the tank, Rammus being one of those tanks. Yeah, just a very difficult team fight for Tastes Like Purple to really get into.
Panther coming back in, grabs Albinosaur, smacks him into the minion. No Mind will ult on that one. Dashes forward, looking for the critical damage. Charging Badger OP just putting down the Space Aids, hoping that's enough, but he watches his support die. And now Charging Badger OP just trying to finish off the enemy bot lane carry. We'll call him that. No Mind running away, but Heimel is here, and he'll just get him with the bonk.
Ah, man, what a feels bad moment. And that was an excellent example, because Albinosaur, even though he eventually did go down, he lasted forever. It just seemed like he wouldn't die, so ended up being able to heal up through the damage, while Charging Badger is just able to layer the damage onto Yasuo. So I feel like that's how a lot of these team fights are going to go, unless if the group does 5.
Heimel and Alercion looking for Zister here in the top lane. Taunt lands. He is not able to get out. Now has the EQ available, but he'll get knocked back in, and Heimel takes him down.
Yeah, meanwhile in the mid lane, we got some scrapping going on. Charging Badger layering down the aids onto the enemies, but unfortunately quite low on mana.
But here's Panther. They're going to grab Xander of Astora back into turret range on the other side of the fight. Toe Knuckles has just soloed out charging Badger thanks to that damage. And they find the 4v2 fight due TLP. They'll grab 2 kills onto the AP Malphite.
There we go, and that's what I was talking about, being able to layer that CC, being able to focus people out with the Yasuo and the Malphite at all. Now it's all about what are they able to actually get off of it. At the moment, their bot lane's really heavily pushed in, and they don't have a minion wave mid yet. So it's really a matter of what they really convert this into.
Yeah, honestly, both of these team comps are pretty garbage at Siege.
Yes.
Your only range champions are Janna for TLP or like Sona Malzahar. If you get
Known
the
for
Dark
their tower
Harvest
pushing.
stacks coming through, maybe Sona can start popping some towers. Has the Sheen available. Look at that. That's the tower killing build.
Oh man. The Inferno Drake does come up here in a couple seconds, so it'll be interesting to see what ults come up and if they're able to pick somebody off before getting it. Everybody's collapsing around it from the side of Tastes Like Purple.
Charging Badger just walks in, no fear with the spell shield. Xander Vestora only hits one person with the Vanguard's Edge. On the other side of the fight, Zister has already taken down Albinosaur. The Nether Grasp is locking one up. It's 1-for-1 so far. Xander Vestora running away. No Mind is in deep, and he'll get taken down by the Irelia. On the other side of the fight, Zister has come out on top as he picks up his first 2 kills of the game. Basically 1v2ing on the top half. Aimo looking for a little bit more. That's not the correct direction toward the base for Panther, but I guess it's safe for now. End is with him. The 2 members of TLP going on a little journey of the ST6 jungle.
Yeah, not really focusing the objectives at the moment, but maybe they'll be able to pick themselves up a kill or 2.
Yeah, Xander Vestora is here. They're going to grab End. He dodges out the flash over the wall. Now a teleport being channeled as Xander Vestora does kill off the enemy support.
There's
Both
2
teleports coming in. Oh, it's 3 teleports
3.
coming in. TLP actually finished both of them. Interestingly, and Alercion canceled?
I assume so. He was definitely channeling it.
Why does it still have a full cooldown?
Wait.
Now he's channeling it
TPing.
again. Oh, the colors are just fucked up thanks to the spectator.
Oh.
Anyway, oh, the huge combo though! Zister is on a rampage. That's a full team wipe basically. Charging Badger OP will be next. That will be the ace for TLP. That combo came out of nowhere. They do pick up 1.5, I guess. It's just No Mind and Panther's passive. End wasn't even there for the fight.
That is the team fight I was talking about. I was so hoping that they'd finally group up, and especially when it's around this objective, then it's so easy to hit all 5 of them, or at least 4 of them at the same time, and just wombo combo the damage. No Mind did eventually go down in the end to the aids, but with the ace and picking up the Inferno Drake, even with all the waves pushing almost, they should get a lot out of this to close that gold gap, and in fact they're now at 1k ahead.
Yeah, that was a crazy wombo combo. I mean, that's exactly what the team is built to do. You're completely correct. But it's one thing to say, hey, we're just going to AoE everybody on the enemy team. Like, that's our whole goal. And it's another one to just do it consistently throughout the game. There's time number 1. I think a second and a third would basically snowball the game out of control if TLP can land that.
For sure, because SEAL Team 6, they're looking for these solo fights, kind of like Iroya here. Her ult was actually cancelled in the middle of that.
Yeah, and knocked her up with the tornado, and that knocked her out of the Vanguard's Edge, so no further engagement from Xander of Astora. I'd love to see the No Mind versus Xander of Astora 1v1 right now. I think Irelia wins it, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Depends on how much
Heimel's here as he flashes in, grabs the taunt onto No Mind, but he has the QSS available. 2 knockups, another knockup. Heimel just getting destroyed in the middle of this fight. Oh, Charging Badger able to pick up 1 in return. He'll grab the Nether Grasp onto the Malphite. Now Panther jumping in. Alercion is here as well as he sold it out 2 on the backside of the fight. Panther, not the only surviving member. Zister hasn't been able to join just yet, but he'll have to run for the hills.
Unfortunate 4v5, honestly. It kind of goes back to that point of execution. You have to be grouped up before you pick these fights, and They thought they had the chance to pick out Xander at that moment, but in the end, the entire rest of SEAL Team 6 ends up collapsing, and they come out on top and will probably get this middle turret. My question is what they're going to do afterwards, because at this point, they're kind of on a clock, like you were saying before, to really finish out this game. I honestly don't feel like SEAL Team 6 has the pushing power and the team fighting capability that TLP does to really close this game. So they're either going to have to work around Baron or some excellent split pushing by Aurelia, since nobody can really answer her. So it'll be interesting to see what they do next.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's unfortunate that you have the Ignite on the Irelia, because that's allowed a lot of the kill power in lane, but it's going to be harder to set her up in a good situation where she's isolated 1v1 against somebody, and also they can't join the fight because Toe Knuckles and Zister both have the teleport available. So you'd think TLP can at least work around a strong side lane, whereas it's going to be much more difficult, much more risky if you're SEAL Team 6. You don't want to just lose the Baron because your Irelia can't join.
For sure, and that all goes back to champion select. And personally, I prefer TP, but I won't delve into that too much. Looks like No Mind went into the bottom lane and is going to push up this turret. I'm betting he's going to get it because it's already pretty low health, and the only person going over is Heimel to answer it. Meanwhile, SEAL Team 6 getting some vision around Baron, trying to figure out what exactly they're going to do next. They don't look like they have a plan at the moment.
Yeah, both teams kind of, I don't want to say milling aimlessly. TLP definitely had the, we're going to grab this low turret at least. They had that on the priority. They really want this mid lane tier 1 because that would open up the jungle and enable them to look at a Baron themselves. Panther's going to jump in, trying to find Charging Badger OP, knocks him into the minions. There's the ultimates being chained together. They grab one pick to start off the fight. But now you've used pretty much all that engagement. I guess you still have the Zac ultimate. He abducts 3 back into his team. They'll get knocked up. That's 1 kill already. All 3 go down. The triple kill for No Mind.
Holy cow. That, like, because you were talking about all the ultimates going down. What are they going to use to engage? Panther with the perfect slingshot in, gets a 3-man ultimate, pulls them back in. Honestly, with these timers being so high, they could push for the inhibitor easily. It's interesting to see what they'll do, though. They'll either go for the inhib or Baron. Yeah, I was just thinking about that because obviously their pushing power isn't great.
Yep. You have the 2 items on Yasuo. That means that you're basically the strongest champion in the game, right? So might as well go for the Baron now. Alercion is around. We'll see if he can make something happen. He doesn't have Keeper's Verdict available, though. Yeah, I don't know exactly what he's going to plan to steal. He's got Flash, I guess, if he wants to go for something really risky. He flashes into the pit. It's at 2,000 still. He'll get CC'd together. It's successfully smited by Panther, though, and Alercion will go down in the process.
Honestly, at this point, though, with the situation that they're in, I don't see them losing that much out of it. Hopefully, though, the team Tastes Like Purple won't be able to close out the game in the next 30 seconds. But honestly, it was worth it. I really don't want to give them over Baron at this point. Clearing out the vision, preparing for the oncoming Baron push. Another Inferno Dragon is up. I gotta say that Tastes Like Purple is probably going to get this one pretty easily. We'll see if SEAL Team 6 decide to contest. This is dangerous though, because around these objectives is where SEAL Team 6 has been dying so much. So if they're caught out, or in this case, the Albinosaur is almost caught out, having to burn his ultimate in order to even stay alive. This is risky. If they die, that's the game.
Yep, all 5 here grouped up in the Dragon Pit. They're going to grab their second Infernal Dragon for themselves. Panther looking for the engage as he flies in. He'll grab just Xander of Astora back into the enemy team, but Alercion with a good ult sends 3 of them back away. They're trying to turn on to Panther and burn him down, but Toe Knuckles with the re-engage. They'll chain that into the last breath. That's 2 kills. That's 3. That's 4 for TLP. And Xander of Astora is not on the right side of the map currently to try to contest. So the push in from TLP should go unmatched.
Toe Knuckles TPing to the bot lane to pad his CS scores a bit before they close out the game. This should be an easy win for Tastes Like Purple. An excellent team fight. The Yasuo wall honestly ruining their day. Xander of Astoria with now 2 missed ultimates simply by getting interrupted, and also Yasuo wall, like in that last one, is going to try his hardest to defend the turrets, but it's just not enough. The ace comes through for Tastes Like Purple as they close out the game. 31 kills, 23.
I wouldn't be so confident there. Okay. The Nexus fell too fast. Okay. So the important things we learned. The teleports are they're both colors at once. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. More importantly, for this, the loss for SEAL Team 6 unfortunately eliminates them from playoff contention. So we're down to 2 teams for the last spot, and we'll get to see both of them coming up next. Our next game is going to be Oklahoma Gold Rush versus Gecko Slammer Armageddon. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with that one. Assuming I can find the splash screen. There it is.
Wait, which game's next?
OGR versus GSM.
Okay. That was actually a really good game, I have to say that.
Yeah, it was on the memeier side, but both teams played their compositions pretty well, so...
I mean, I can no longer judge these games based on meminess, I just have to judge them on entertainment level. Alright, are you good to go? I am.
Alright. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 of our 3 games today is going to be between Oklahoma Gold Rush and Gecko Slammer Armageddon. I'm going to pull up stats for reference. Hold on. Very professional. OGR comes in at 3-3, and they need the win in order to stay alive, essentially. Right now they're tied with Power Flashes, who we're going to see in the next game. So the difference between those results could decide who's going into the playoffs, could come down to a tiebreaker. We'll just have to see. Gecko Slammer Armageddon, they're 4-2. They've punched their ticket to the playoffs. A loss here puts them at risk of falling into the 4th slot, which of course would mean that you'd have to play the 1 seed from the Noxus division, which is going to be the hardest road, which is not a difficult or not an easy task, I guess I should say. So a lot on the line for both of these teams in terms of positioning and playoff contention. Are you ready for the game, Otto?
R.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. On the bottom side of the map, wearing the blue health bars this game, are going to be the Oklahoma Gold Rush. In the top lane, Trilogy will be playing Urgot, Scrambles in the jungle playing Sejuani, Thunderstorm in the mid lane on Malzahar, and Duvranga and Ivory on Kaisa and Thresh. And then on the top half of the map, wearing the red health bars, in the top lane will be Stayed on Fusion, aka Dogmar, playing Poppy, Kairu in the jungle on Skarner, Goddess of Storms in mid on Oriana, and Levi's and Silver Spade in the bottom lane with the Sivir and Morgana combo.
Opening up with some spicy ARAM plays in the middle lane as everyone flashes their emotes. Classic.
That was a Vitality emote out of Scrambles. I guess they won him over.
something.
Anyway, much more standard team compositions out of this game. I'm curious to see both the Sejuani and the Skarner have fallen a little bit out of favor recently, thanks to some nerfs, thanks to some other junglers just getting a little bit stronger. So I'm curious to see how that kind of old school jungle matchup goes for Scrambles and Kairu. If the sustain has been hit a little bit too much for Scrambles, or if Kairu can make something happen using the Predator ganks for himself.
Absolutely, and honestly, they're both excellent junglers, Jesus, in the sense that they're able to find really good picks on the enemy team with their ultimate. So I have to see how well they're able to use those, because on both sides, as you said, a more standard composition coming through. There's actually 80 carries in this game, whatever those are, with Kai'Sa and Sivir, and so it'll really be about which one's able to scale a bit harder. Obviously, Kai'Sa being the harder scaling of the two, and Sivir having the more powerful early game.
Yep. But on the flip side, like very late game, it flips back, doesn't it, to Sivir with the crit scaling as opposed to the stacking up on hit, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, honestly. I would say that Sivir definitely has an advantage in the late game, and this not even in the sense of the crit build, which I totally see where you're coming from, but also the pushing power, honestly. Just being able to throw out her boomerang and clear a wave in one hit is really devastating in keeping those side waves pushed out. So we'll have to see on how they manage that, if it even gets to that point.
But it'll be interesting because Kai'Sa's definitely that harder scaling 80 carry on the 1 and 2 items for sure. And then at like 3 and 4 it starts to tip back. Anyway, Kairu's in mid, not able to land the crystal, whatever it's called, the crystal E.
Yeah, he's pretty slow right now. Doesn't have any boots on him, but still staying even with Scrambles on the other side of the jungle. They're actually going to meet each other over the Scuttle Crab at the moment.
Scrambles comes in, just whacking this down. It goes over to Kairu. So first smite of the game goes the way of Gecko Slammer Armageddon, and now Scrambles is in trouble. Can he get out? He has to flash over the wall.
Yeah, that could have been really bad. We got to give kudos to GSM for the rotation through bot lane. Just able to completely force Scrambles out of that situation, forcing him to flash over the wall.
Yeah, and that's showing that shove advantage that they have in bottom lane, and they have one in mid as well. We haven't really talked about, but just picking the stronger lanes enables them to rotate earlier over to help their jungler out. And they get the flash out of the jungler, not the biggest prize, but it certainly helps. Ivory gets found by Dark Binding, the Ignite ticking him down. Duvranga trying to trade back, but not able to proc his passive, and now Kairu's here. Hits the slow with the E, flashes forward, grabs the stun. Another auto attack, the Dark Binding lands, and that'll be first blood for Gecko Slammer Armageddon.
Excellent job by Silver Spade, being able to land those Qs like that. Just the amount of damage, starting with hitting Ivory on the Thresh, chunking him out. Meanwhile, Kairu comes down from the jungle, help close off the kill, and onto the GSM's 80 carry, Levi. Liveth, whatever. I don't even want to talk about the top lane. I feel like they're just going to be hitting each other back and forth.
The Urgot Poppy matchup isn't the most exciting one that you can possibly imagine. Urgot definitely has the shove advantage, has a little bit of lane pressure on Poppy, but you won't see, especially with this particular setup. Trilogy's opted for Comet as his keystone, and Teleport means that he'll have very low kill pressure. Maybe we can see him surprise somebody with the level 6, but
I was going to say, the level 6 is definitely the part where you actually have to worry about him, because most people, they like to stay in lane even when they're low health, just because they know they can soak up a bit more CS, a bit more experience. But when you always have to worry about an Urgot stabbing you through the stomach and pulling you into the meat grinder, it makes you think twice before staying too long to greed for a wave.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious for Dogmar, for State on Fusion, the Poppy. He has Inspiration secondary, very clearly, with the Minion Dematerializer. Mm-hmm. Normally when you see that setup, you're looking at like Biscuits and Time Warp Tonic. So I'm kind of curious what his other rune is, what setup, what he's valuing instead.
For Ivory?
With it. No, for Dogmar, State on Fusion.
Oh. That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I guess the only thing I could think of is he would want the Dematerializer to be able to push a bit harder and keep the pressure up.
Yeah, it'll keep the
I've been
pressure off of him. I'm just not sure what second rune you would go, or why you would value inspiration in that case. I'm just curious, not like
right.
I think it's necessarily wrong. I'd want the full loadout before we make any determinations. Right now, Kairu's getting aggressive. He's stealing away the Raptor camp, but he gets spotted by Scrambles. He doesn't have a mid laner right now. I think if Kairu had known that, they might have gone for it, because you can call Goddess of Storms in, although she has no mana, so...
Thunderstorm's TPing bot.
Thunderstorm's TPing bot. There's a flay in from Ivory. Black Shield will buy just a little bit of time. There's the Nether Grasp as well, as Thunderstorm picks up the kill.
That deep ward in the bot lane in favor of OGR, able to let Thunderstorm hit level 6 and immediately TP into the bot lane to pick up an easy kill.
Yeah, that was a really good call by OGR, and they're able to grab the kill to even that lane back up. It goes on to Thunderstorm, so he'll take that back to the mid lane.
But that's okay. The mid lane's kind of stagnated at the point. Both of them are able to just shove in the wave and then back off to the safety of their turret. So maybe with this extra kill, Thunderstorm, when his ult comes back up, might be able to force something onto Goddess of the Storms. Goddess of Storms. Sounds like a game. Goddess of the Storm.
Oh, Binding going to land onto Ivory as he gets chunked down by the Boomerang Blade. Ricochet's coming through. A Flash Ignite from Silver Spade will secure the kill as Levi's takes it. Now Duvranga in trouble as well. Another Dark Binding land. Silver Spade is smurfing down here. Oh, the tower shot almost takes down Levi's. He has to heal away from the minions. Grabs the Fleet Footwork as well, just for a little bit of healing back. So they're not able to pick up that second kill. They use all 4 summoners in the process. But
Levi's almost picked up that second kill, actually canceling the auto attack, unfortunately. I probably would have too, because that turret was scurry, and he might have died to it if he stayed any second longer. I want to point out to Kairu, for his pathing so far. Able to stay even with Scrambles, but I definitely feel like we've seen him in lane being a presence in like his bot and middle lane for sure.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Scrambles get involved anywhere. The only time we've seen him on the directed camera was getting his flash forced out at the Scuttle Crab, which isn't exactly where you want to get seen. We're not even watching this dragon fight. There's a bunch of people in the dragon pit right now. Smite goes in favor of Kairu, and GSM will take the Earth Dragon. Scrambles was right in there. He didn't actually have Smite available though, so he was just trying to steal it with the E passive.
Yep, so far on our fabled matchup of Sejuani versus Skarner, trying to figure out which one might still be better, it looks like Skarner's coming ahead in this early game, able to pick up the Dragon objective and keep pressure in the lanes at the same time. So we'll have to see if Scrambles is able to pull through and make something happen himself.
Yeah, Trilogy and Dogmar are still duking it out. You have to be really careful. Ooh, the flash was aggressive from Trilogy, but not able to land the Fear Beyond Death onto Dogmar. So just the trade of flashes and the ultimate burn for Urgot.
I feel like he was trying to land the ultimate and flash forward to get a little bit of extra damage on it to actually get the ultimate rolling, but unfortunately not quite landing on to stayed on fusion.
Thunderstorm was looking for that roam top, but has
I think he's
not committed to it. Oh, maybe he'll come in. He's in the side bush now, into the pink warded bush. You don't have Trilogy's ultimate, so this isn't a done deal. They're going to call in another goon, though. The 3-man squad not pushing too hard. Dogmar looks like he's keeping himself safe enough from that jungle pressure. Meanwhile, Silver Spade and Levi is here on the directed camera in bot lane, just clearing out some vision.
Yeah, I feel like Stayed On kind of had that gut feeling where he hadn't seen the jungler in a while. Thunderstorm was missing from the middle lane. Didn't want to push up, so good map awareness from him, even if it wasn't intentional. Just having this feeling of something might be up in the top lane.
Oh, ooh! Dogmar comes in and snipes away that Scuttle Crab.
Scrambles who's boss.
Yeah, Scrambles is having a little bit of trouble with the objective control today. That's 2 Scuttles now that he's lost in the Dragon. Just coming up the wrong side of the smites. Hopefully he can turn that around later on in the game. Hook gonna
Yeah.
land onto Levi's. Not gonna follow it though.
Yeah, I was
Just
trying
make
to
sure.
think-
Hey, you're taking my word. I know you're taking my word. You're not gonna get it completely for free. You gotta lose like 100 health for it.
Oh, I love it. I'm trying to think what the mid game is going to look like as we get past these level 6 power spikes. We've already seen Thunderstorm take advantage of his, but now it's about those next steps, not get stuck in the laning phase. What do you want to do with all these power spikes? It looks like GSM does have something in mind as they roam into the river towards mid lane. Not quite sure if they'll get anything though. Iru is looking towards the top side, towards Trilogy.
Ivory lands the hook onto Silver Spade, gonna pull in scrambles. All three dive as Killer Instinct comes in for Duvranga. They're trying to chunk down Silver Spade, but the speed boost from On the Hunt will get Levi's and Silver Spade out to safety. So an unsuccessful usage of, I guess it was just the Killer Instinct. No other ults were burned there. They
Yeah,
were,
Scrambles didn't end up ulting.
yeah, they were trying to burn through that black shield, it looked like, before committing anything, but they never quite got through it.
That's always tough thinking about that because with Morgana and a Sivir, that's 2 spell shields and a lot of speed boost, just a lot of ability to disengage. That makes it really difficult for the jungler to gank and snowball that lead. So Scrambles might have to look elsewhere in the meanwhile to extend his lead.
Yeah,
Gain a
normally
lead.
normally with Malzahar, you're looking immediately to that lane because you can just hold the enemy mid laner in place and throw in your jungler, but Sejuani's so low damage that it's almost not like you can keep Goddess of Storms CC'd for 7 or 8 years, but do you actually have that critical amount of damage to finish the kill?
And with the 1 kill on Thunderstorm, I honestly say they would. He didn't necessarily pick up the highest AP item in the world, but with Goddess of Storm, he's been pushed up quite a bit this entire game, trying to push back Thunderstorm and make that difference in his team. So Scramble should look for something.
Yeah, Scrambles is waiting in this bush. He's gonna find Silver Spade here before the Black Shield comes off. Flash away from Silver Spade, and the heal from Levi's will keep them safe for now. Ivory's taken pretty low, but no kills again being traded in that bottom lane. It's just some more cooldowns and summoner spells being thrown at each other.
Neither of them really have health and don't want to commit to it because they're afraid of dying. So a pretty low kill game so far as we're 13 minutes into the game with only maybe 1k difference in gold.
Yeah, it is the small gold lead for GSM. Most of that will be on the Sivir with the 2 kills. And you can see the difference in items, although they haven't backed in quite a while. So it'll stack up a little bit differently here.
Right, and just looking at the mid lane like we did for a second there, Goddess of Storm's actually trading really well against Thunderstorm. So that kind of shows you who's the real goddess of the storm.
I don't
Do you even realize that? She's the goddess of the storms, and he's a thunderstorm. She's heat, so
Oh,
she's
okay.
his goddess.
Okay. This game was rigged from the start then.
Right? Oh man. But unfortunately, Orianna not really having a lot of mana right now, so she's just going to shove out the lane and back. Quite a bit of... they're quite passive lanes so far. The farm looks really good on both sides of the team. Sivir with the 20 CS lead in the bot lane. Mid lane's breaking even along with the top lane and the jungle, so maybe it's really going to boil down to the difference in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Scrambles has been looking for something in the bottom lane. He's kind of forced 2 ganks and hasn't gotten a whole lot for it. They have Silver Spade's flash down and Levi's heal. Would be the 2 cooldowns that you can really leverage in this situation. Thunderstorm is roamed down as well. This might turn into a full-blown 4v4. Flash away from Duvranga, away from the Dark Binding. I don't know if that was completely blind from Silver Spade, but able to grab that. Now Scrambles is caught. They able to dash away with the flash as well, so doesn't get locked up by Silver Spade again. And the big disengagement, we're still sitting on 3 kills at 15 minutes.
However, that is 2 big summoner spells, the flashes on the jungle and the AD carry being burnt on the side of OGR, so they're really going to have to play around that for the next, 5 minutes or whatever that flash is down, especially while playing around these objectives. So now they're going to have to be even more passive until they feel comfortable with these engages.
Yeah, meanwhile, everybody's just been ignoring Trilogy and Dogmar, and they've both got 126 farm for themselves.
Naturally,
So
naturally.
these top laners, if they ever decide to come down from top lane, should be in a relatively good position to make an impact. Every once in a while, you get stuck on that island, and there's just kills everywhere on the other side, and you go down, and the whole map's on fire. Not super fun as the top laner, but they've been passively farming it up. They're enjoying that. Kairu and Scrambles have found each other on one side of the fight. Thunderstorm's teleported down. They're going to go ahead and suppress Kairu. That'll be one kill going over to OGR. Levi's is trying to kite out Scrambles. He'll get hit by the E. And on the top side of the map, Trilogy and Dogmar are going to scrap as well. Trilogy's teleport is almost up. So both top laners could join now if we really wanted to see something, but it's the pick. It's the 1-for-0 for Oklahoma Gold Rush.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. I don't feel like they're actually going to get any objectives off of this, as it was only one person. It was Kairu, so maybe the Dragon. But we'll have to see if Goddess of Storms roams down. He still has his ultimate, and they do have vision nearby, so they have to know that they're on it.
Yeah, Levi's and Silver Spade clear out that vision. So 3 or 4 members of Oklahoma Gold Rush are there. They secure the Dragon. Can they find anything else, though? Silver Spade gets hit by the Malzahar Q. Trade back with the Boomerang Blade. Ivory looking for the hook. Not really.
Well,
It lands onto Levi's, but it's spell shielded. Scrambles takes the Dark Passage out to safety, so the successful disengage from OGR. Kairu's still here, looking for it with the Predator, grabs the ultimate onto Scrambles, pulls him back in. Do they have any follow-up? The Dark Binding lands onto Duvranga, but they don't really want to dive this turret. Instead, they're just going to chunk it down.
Orianna needs to push R. Excuse me. Still has the ultimate up on Orianna, unless if it's bugged out or something. And so they potentially could look for a really good tower dive as the wave crashes into the bottom turret.
Yeah, you don't have the Impale available. Scramble's just trying to make some space. He will go down, though, as Levi's takes the kill. They're going to lose the turret as well. Oh, the flash from Goddess of Storm. She's looking for the shockwave, but not able to find anything there.
Man.
Also used barrier. I'm not really sure about that one, but sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, Orianna used barrier. Okay. You know what? He's trying. Okay. He did finish the Luden's Echo along with Thunderstorm, and after that extremely longish fight, the bottom turret on the side of OGR does eventually go down, giving first turret blood over to GSM.
Yeah, so GSM has staked themselves out to about a 2,500 gold lead. Pretty respectable at this point in the game. And you're really looking to leverage Levi's right now. He's 3-0 on the Severe, has maybe not the best completed items right now in terms of how it stacks up versus Duvranga, but the Stormrazor plus Zeal combo feels pretty good.
Yeah, and with that 40 CS lead and 3 kills, he should be able to really snowball this. It does look like they might clash on the top side. Obviously, we're watching the tanks fight bottom lane, so I'm ignoring them. As Trilogy chase down Fusion, probably will just break even. Looks like Scrambles is roaming down, however, maybe to turn the tides in this battle, as Fusion finds himself on the wrong side of the map.
Oh, that's a really early ultimate from Trilogy. He gets sent away. Scrambles just trying to slow up Dogmar. I don't know if Trilogy can really get back in. There he is. Finally, enough CC has gone down. The Disdain comes forward, and maybe they'll pick it up finally. Rift Herald goes over to GSM in the process, though. 1 kill for Rift Herald isn't necessarily the best trade. Although they're going to grab the turret as well. Okay.
Yeah. Rift Herald's pretty strong right now. We'll have to see how well GSM is able to actually use it as they push in the top lane, but Kairu, the person holding onto Rift Herald, goes back to get his red buff. They're still pushing bot lane.
Yeah, they're pushing bot lane. Goddess of Storms is still in mid solo pushing, and there's 3 members of OGR up on the top side. This is a really interesting split scenario. Are they going to be able to rush down this tower enough? Trilogy looking for it with the W. They get the teleport completes, but they get the turret at the same time. Now it's a 2v2 between Kairu and Dogmar, and Trilogy taken really low. Will get taken down. But they grab both turrets in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that really opens up the bottom side of the map. But since that's on red side, honestly, that doesn't matter too much. Ooh, Silver Spade burning the flash out of Ivory as he has to flash over the wall to avoid the Morgana ultimate. But a lot of pressure emanating from GSM, just it's on the top side of the map. And that's why OGR is able to pick up a couple turrets in the bot lane.
Yeah, they might be looking to collapse here. There's a goon squad of Silver Spade and Kairu roaming through the jungle, Dark Binding and the Crystal Slash, not able to connect though. But it's still 3v2 up on the top side of this map. Kairu might look at dropping the Rift Herald there.
You would think so. Maybe they're just going to settle for the one turret and not look for the next one. They don't really know where any of the other team members are. They did ping out Scrambles in the mid lane, but Urgot is still missing.
Yeah.
So he shows himself in the bot lane.
And honestly, we're not going to get to talk about it. The
Ooh.
Shockwave pulls in
Chibustar!
the kill on Thunderstorm in the mid lane as Dogmar picks that one up. I was going to say really good job by Duvranga and Ivory to get out of that top lane in the bad situation. You could have given up way more. Oh, the stun is actually going to stop the Rift Herald channel. So Kairu not able to successfully get that off thanks to Scramble's ultimate. Now Trilogy looking for a little bit more. He hip thrusts forward, grabs the slow. His ultimate lands onto Goddess of Storms, but they have no follow-up damage. Duvranga going really hard for that, but he's not going to get pulled back in. They do get the kill on him as Kairu's here. They're trying to run him down. Silver Spade and Levi's have rejoined. The On the Hunt gives them so much mobility as the team for Gecko Slammer Armageddon collapses. It's 2 for 1 in favor of GSM. Maybe a little bit more
Fight
as Scrambles
continues.
looking for more. The hook from Ivory lands, but they don't have any damage here as Thunderstorm just now finally able to rejoin.
They were able to clear out the wave now, and so GSM really has to decide if they keep pushing and risk the respawn timers on the side of OGR, or if they rotate off and prepare for the next objective, which looks to be an Earth Drake, actually, as they clear some vision around the Dragon Pit.
These Dark Bindings
like-
from Silver Spade have just found everybody during this game.
Right? He's managed to feed Levi. Levis? Jesus, I keep calling him Levi.
No, we've been going with Levi's, and
Is it?
I think that's
Levi's?
correct, yeah.
Weird. Anyway, he is 5-0, so really strong on the Sivir with the 2 items completed, and honestly almost has the Infinity Edge. As they look for another fight, the Dragon actually resets.
Hook comes in from Ivory onto Dogmar. They're looking for the fight. The Shockwave pulls in too, and then the Keeper's Verdict sends them back away, though. Thunderstorm has killed off Dogmar, as now Scrambles is trying to run. He'll get stunned by Silver Spade. They're trying to turn this back. Scrambles is so low. He'll get taken down by Levi's. On the backside of the fight, he'll get turned into the grinder, but he has the spell shield available for a little bit of time. It's a double kill, though, for Trilogy.
And nobody finishes the Dragon after all of that. You have to say, though, OGR do pick up 1 extra kill trying to catch up this gold lead. They are still 4k behind and a turret behind. Their top lane's shoving. We'll see what they decide to do with this lead as the side of GSM is backing.
Yeah, they've got a good siege here with the Malzahar Voidlings and the W from Urgot. Means that they can tear through this tower relatively quickly. Goddess of Storms is the only one here to respond.
So that will be a turret going over to red side, OGR. See if they decide to try and go for the Dragon. I personally wouldn't risk it, even though the side waves are pushing. You'd never know if they're going to just respawn and immediately come down to Dragon. So we'll see if they're able to pick it up, though.
Yeah, Ivory, Duvranga, Thunderstorm, and Scrambles all here. Trilogy is joining as well, so that's all 5 for OGR. GSM has no ability for their top laner to join, so they're just going to have to give this up, if they were even aware of it in the first place. Silver Spade finally finding out at the backside of that fight, but the Earth Dragon goes over to Oklahoma Gold Rush.
Yeah, that's a good point. Poppy in the top lane fusion didn't even have teleport, so unable to join the fight.
Now he might
we'll
be
see
caught
if he's
just
caught
a little
out.
bit here. Trying to run away, the Flayin and the hook from Ivory. Duvranga and Trilogy all here. They have enough. Whoa, that was a good Keeper's Verdict. It's just going to secure his death a little bit later and to Trilogy instead. Trilogy now on a killing spree on the Urgot as the rest of GSM looks to collapse. Predator pops, Silver Spade goes in. A huge Morgana ultimate locks up 3. Kairu didn't actually use the Impale. Now going to grab Duvranga in. They'll kill him off. The Shockwave is so good, though. The double kill already for Levi's. The triple for him. Is that the Quadra? It is. Thunderstorm running away. Won't be the Pentas secured, but the Quadra kill for Levi's off of the Shockwave from Goddess of Storms.
Man, I was dissing her this entire first half of the game for not pushing R, and now she's coming out clutch with the 4-man ultimates on Orianna, really turning that fight around, because it was in fact a 4v5, because Fusion was caught out at the beginning, but they really managed to pull through and managed to pick up the mid turret for themselves.
Yeah. And interesting usage of the team fight control that they have. Silver Spade flashed in, used the Morgana ultimate to stun up 3. That wasn't the point when they engaged, though. They actually kited it back, and they waited for a better opportunity. Kairu was able to impale Duvranga. They took him out immediately, and then the huge shockwave layered in with everything else, and Levi's was able to tear through with the ricochet.
It was interesting because Morgana flashed in with that ultimate, and Duvranga actually ulted into the backline next to the Orianna and Sivir and was trying to kite that out for whatever reason. I don't think that was necessarily the best decision, especially in these team fights where you might have to play a bit more back to front when you're able to, because even though Kai'Sa's at this point where she has the 2 items and it's quite a good power spike, you have to give yourself time to get the stacks onto the Rage Blade before you actually start doing damage in these team fights. So maybe just play that a little bit better in the next team fights to come, and they should be able to come out on top.
Well, Levi's goes back and picks up a storm, or picks up the Infinity Edge and the Guardian Angel. So he's sitting on 5 items right now, only 1 more left to buy, compared to the 2 items for Duvranga. It's the big 2-item Kai'Sa power spike, but that is nothing compared to 4-item Sivir right now. I guess when you have 11 kills, you get a little bit ahead. Anyway, Trilogy and Dogma are going to go ahead and scrap in the bottom lane. This is not super interesting. What is interesting are all of the pink wards that Gecko Slammer Armageddon has around the Baron right now. They're really nervous about actually trying to start this. Both of these teams have thrown a couple of times at Baron this season, so you see the hesitation in going for that objective.
Yeah, and I'd be worried about it too, because both of these teams can fight really, really well around Baron, as long as you're not the person actually doing it, because Baron's going to be hurling his spit or whatever the heck it is on you, while at the same time reducing your armor and magic resistance. He still does that, right?
Yes.
And so as the enemy team comes in and collapses on you with this huge team fighting mob, it's so difficult to survive.
Yeah, one caveat, I think it's just magic resist, it's not armor.
Well, there you go.
If I remember
honestly
correctly.
Don't play around Baron that much.
Because there's something about magic damage in the pit. I'm not really sure if that's just behind it. Baron is a weird guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally avoid Baron in solo queue games because that's where games get lost, so I just don't even bother. The OGR did clear out the vision around Baron, but GSM swoops in to reclaim that vision. They still have their top first tier turret, and that's actually pretty important because whenever you're fighting over these objectives, you want the waves to be pushing in your favor, so then it's harder for you to rotate towards it, because in this case Trilogy has to answer in the bot lane, and so GSM is able to actually start up the Baron with no one actually knowing.
Yep, Dogmar can join, so can Trilogy. Here comes Dogmar's teleport, as all 5 from GSM have been called in. They're going to get sustained back up, but here comes the engagement from OGR. Good ultimate so far. Duvranga's already picked off Kai'Ru at the backside of that fight. Now Dogmar flies in, trying to kill Scrambles. Trilogy on the backside. They're fighting back to front pretty well. They got Levi's into the Guardian Angel, and he's separated from his team. They'll take him down as well. It's 2 kills for Oklahoma Gold Rush.
That was actually excellently played from both sides, honestly, and I'm actually pretty surprised that OGR came out on top, because Fusion, with the excellent 3-man ultimate knocking them away from the team fight, actually had everybody
he's going to find Duvranga here. He'll grab a cheeky little kill on the backside, so it's just 4 members left for OGR, and that's going to be enough to force them off of the Baron.
There we go, because I was about to say, Duvranga somehow survived all that when they were able to actually focus on him and lock him down. He still somehow survived, dives into the backline, takes a couple people out. So good job for Duvranga. You shouldn't have walked that way, BT dubs. Felt safe since his team was on the Baron, but unfortunately, just got to reset. Especially when you're behind, you got to reset and just look for the next fight to regain that gold lead before you can really pop off and regain control over the game.
Yeah, for OGR, it was a really good fight. They were able to focus on Levi's, who has pretty much all of the gold. Like, we'll just throw that one out there. But Levi's has 11 kills, has that vast majority of the gold, and they were able to find that focus down onto him, burst through his Guardian Angel, and then finish him off the last time. The return Earth Dragon for Gecko Slammer Armageddon feels a little bit okay, I guess. You pull it back, you still got that 3,000 gold lead, you just have to settle down and make sure that you're playing around Levi's in these team fights.
Yeah, and even though he has this item advantage, it didn't really feel like he was able to do a lot of damage in the previous fights, and I would almost contribute that to not paying the Malzahar tax, which would be probably pretty important, especially with you got Thresh Hook, Malzahar ultimate, Sejuani ultimate. You have all these ways to get locked up, and he's putting a lot of faith into the Sivir built-in shield, but you can only use that once. It still has a cooldown.
Yeah, and he's got the longsword into the last whisper for the last item, so that's not lifesteal to keep him healthy, and it's also not the QSS.
So going for that glass cannon, which I could see, but in order to do damage, you have to survive the fight sometimes, and with the way these fights are going, he needs to survive. The 11 kills on him, he is their definite win condition, so we'll have to see how they play around him.
Yep, Duvranga for his parts finished up that third item. He's got the Runaan's Hurricane. You got 3 items on the Malzahar now, so those Space Aids will start chunking through. They do that % health damage with the nice burn from Leandries. You're in a decent spot if you're OGR. Still behind, but you've stabilized the game. Maybe you can make that play if you continue team fighting a little bit better than GSM.
For sure, and they're still debating if they want to do this Baron or not. I would say go for it. You got Trilogy in the bot lane. I don't know if they know it, but he doesn't have TP, and they do have 2 Earth Drakes.
Silver Spade and Scrambles walk into each other just outside that bush. Silver Spade looking for Scrambles, gonna force that flash out of him. The Predator Skarner was headed around. Silver Spade has been super annoying on this Morgana.
Yeah, with all these bindings she's been landing and those clutch ultimates where she flashes into the middle of the team, she doesn't even have stopwatch or Zhonya's yet, so the next time I'm kind of worried about when she does that.
Yeah, just a little bit of gold shy of that Zhonya's right now. Doesn't have any pink wards either, kind of interestingly, putting that burden onto the Skarner and Orianna to pick those up.
Gotta go full AP as Morgana. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah, and these Void Seekers from Duvranga have enabled them to continually bush check, even though they don't have the best vision around the objective. Scramble's ultimate hits the Black Shielded Morgana. They're gonna grab the Fear Beyond Death onto Levi's. It's the slow up, but they've caught Kairu. They grabbed the enemy jungler. Now they're looking to force the engagement. They still have the Keeper's Verdict if Dogmar really wants to disengage. But the pick for Oklahoma Gold Rush, and they're looking at Baron now.
And I wouldn't blame them. Right now, there's not much vision around it. In fact, it is in favor of Oklahoma. And with their bot wave and top wave shoving, they should be able to secure this Baron easily.
Trilogy zoning out the members of Gecko Slammer Armageddon as they're trying to get to the pit hook over the wall, lands onto Dogmar. It's down to 1,500 health. That'll be secured by Oklahoma Gold Rush. The Keeper's Verdict not sending away quite the right target or able to steal for Dogmar. So Baron goes over to Oklahoma Gold Rush off of the pick onto the enemy jungler.
And this should be an easy push for them, at least to be able to secure this turret if they're able to play it. Because unfortunately, Levi's has to go bot lane to figure out that
the flash
wave.
forward onto Silver Spade. They'll take down the Morgana. The Shockwave buying a little bit of time as Dogmar's taking very low. Kairu should go down as well. The double kill, the triple kill for Duvranga on the backside of this fight. Trilogy lives just barely. Scrambles lives as well. There's so many low health members. Levi's might be able to turn this back around. He's already shut down one. Ivory in trouble as well. The double kill for Goddess of the Storms now as Scrambles able to dash back over the wall, but Levi's can follow through the base gate. Couple more autos will take him down as Levi's takes the double as well. They get a decent push on the inhibitor turret, but they lose 4 members of their team for it. But off of the 4 for 3, it's still a slight gold swing in favor of Oklahoma Gold Rush because they were able to get that inner turret in the mid lane. I don't know what happened to Otso.
A roommate came home, that's what.
Okay. So now the big reset. Nobody able to push anything off of that last team fight. You only have Baron buff left on Trilogy if you're Oklahoma Gold Rush. Maybe set him up in that side lane and see what he can do. But you have teleports available for everybody who has teleport. So the 2 on OGR, the 1 on GSM. And this is interesting the way that they've set up the lanes with Trilogy is set aside up in that top lane. Dogmar by himself down in the bottom lane right now. You have Infernal Dragon coming up in 20 seconds.
That is an Elder Dragon, actually.
I always say that. I don't know why. It's Elder, yes. It's the big boy, the purple boy.
Yeah. And we'll have to see how they play around it, because right now they have Trilogy in the top lane with Fusion. They both do have TP, and so we'll have to see which way this team fight sways. Because depending on which way it sways, that's going to be whoever has the favor to push and eventually, hopefully, win the game.
Oh, Dogmar just ejects Trilogy from top lane as GSM started up the Elder Dragon.
Ooh, that is a good point. Fusion actually did end up using the ultimate in the top lane to try and keep Trilogy away from the turret, which he is going to eventually get anyway. With the fight going down, we'll actually see Trilogy might be able to close this off with the ultimate. Oh,
yeah,
barely
rushes in
knocked away.
Yeah, the Righteous Glory. Able to close the distance, though. He's still able to shotgun him down. The last shotgun knee not ticking, though, is Dogmar able to dodge it out. He'll live, but just barely.
Yeah, barely being able to survive. This should allow OGR, though, a lot of pressure onto the Elder Dragon if Scrambles decides not to get caught.
Wait.
But they still have to worry about Trilogy shoving in the top lane.
We heard Kairu's ult go off, but he wasn't able to actually grab anybody. Trilogy just beating on this inhibitor turret. He's able to take it down by himself and now focus a little bit more onto Dogmar. The 4v4 not really super interesting apparently right now as Trilogy and Dogmar just duking it out here. I'm more curious about this positioning. Kairu hits the Righteous Glory, trying to run in, trying to grab the initiation. This is way more interesting, though, as the hammer shot comes in. They pulled in Scrambles, but he's able to dash back out, so no kills in the 4v4. And there, you're in the meat grinder for the first time this game. Trilogy secures the solo kill in the top lane.
And so now GSM's going to have to decide.
Dash forward for Duvranga. They're trying to find Levi's, but the Shockwave pulls back too. The Nether Grasp is able to keep Duvranga alive, and Trilogy or Ivory takes the kill with the auto attack. Now Silver Spade and Scrambles fighting. Yeah, that one's not super interesting, but it's all coming up OGR. That's 2 kills for them. That's a couple of turrets, the inhibitor in the top lane, and now they're looking for that Elder Dragon.
Yeah, it's all going to be about how quickly they can close out this game now. It looks like they're deciding to go for the Elder Drake instead, since OGR's bot lane is shoving in. But honestly, these past few fights have been kind of crazy and chaotic, kind of all over the place. So we'll have to really regroup to close out this game properly.
Yep, it's about a 3K advantage right now for Oklahoma Gold Rush. It's their first gold lead that they've had since the very beginning of the game. And now they have Elder Dragon buff ticking down. Ultimate comes down onto Kairu, looking to just chunk through that. Not able to grab the execute, though, and the shield's going to keep Trilogy healthy.
We'll have to see if they decide to stay here. Fusion.
Oh, that was such a good.
Knocking away the wave.
Yeah, you can buffer CC with the hip thrust from Urgot. That's exactly what we saw there. Ivory pulls in Dogmar. Dogmar gets pinned down. He should be the first to fall in this fight. The Shockwave was going to be used to secure the kill, but Silver Spade had already secured it. Kairu is a speedy boy. They're going to grab Scrambles, but he has the Gargoyle Stone Plate to keep him healthy. Does OGR look to turn? No, they're just going to sacrifice their jungler.
And this is what I was talking about. They were making fun of me. I could hear it, but you have to group up before you're able to push this out, because honestly, the game is still closer than you think it is, and with both teams able to make these picks, you can't just rely on the hopeful 3v5 as you push into the inhibitor turret, especially where they're able to rotate faster. So we'll have to see if this time, if they're able to group up properly and really push down their base to destroy the enemy nexus.
Yep, the second Baron is up in 30 seconds. That should be the point of contention that decides the game. But right now it's the stall out for GSM. It's the slight lead for OGR. The Elder buff will still be up as it spawns, but it won't be too much longer after. If I had to guess, it's about a minute left on that one, and we've got 20 seconds for the Baron. Thunderstorm has teleport, so he's going to be the split pusher in this situation.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how long the Baron dance lasts for as they contest for vision and hopefully a pick. And so we'll see if the Elder Dragon's still on there, because GSM's definitely going to want to contest this with the second Baron buff being even more powerful than the first. So we'll have to see how this goes. We do have Thunderstorm shoving in the bot lane, which is awesome because he does have TP while Trilogy doesn't. And so Trilogy's staying with the team and letting Thunderstorm doing the split pushing, as you said.
Yeah, Levi's shows he clears that minion wave, which took all of, 0.3 seconds when he got to the minion wave. But he does show down there. It's not OGR immediately pouncing on it, but they're going to be a little bit more brazen with their positioning toward that red side jungle. Trilogy gets hit by a binding, but able to grab the lantern out to safety. Thunderstorm, I don't know why this is way more interesting than what's happening up here. Sometimes I wish we could hire an observer, but
I do see Thunderstorm actually winning that. They are looking for an engagement on a Trilogy though. Not able to find it, just looks under the fresh lantern.
yeah,
Wow,
Thunderstorm is
so
just
much
kiting him
damage.
out. There's the Nether Grasp. That's going to be it. He kills Dogmar in the top lane. The solo kill for Malzahar. They don't have that ultimate available, but that doesn't really matter when he can solo push, and that'll be the signal for OGR to take the second Baron buff.
Yeah, and they just melt that dragon so easily, especially with GSM having to respond to the bot lane push now. It was kind of at that point where you wanted to wait off the Elder Dragon from OGR so you had a better chance when fighting, but you also wanted to try and force a fight so he didn't lose his split push.
Trilogy forcing a fight, jumps in onto Kairu, hits the Fear Beyond Death onto him as well, forces the flash out of Skarner. No engagement possible right now for GSM. They're waiting for Dogmar to get back up. The ultimate lands onto Silver Spade though. The Shockwave just disengages too, but they've already lost their support. Now the Nether Grasp is back up, and that'll secure the kill onto Goddess of Storms, and OGR pushing in onto the Nexus turrets. Ivory hooks Levi's, but it doesn't matter because Kairu has gone into the meat grinder as well, and that'll be the Nexus turrets. That'll be the game for Oklahoma Gold Rush. Really nice comeback from OGR over GSM. Yeah, what was the turning point of the game in your opinion?
I was trying to figure that out, and honestly, I think it all came down to the execution of those team fights, because Scrambles, as we saw, was quite a way behind, at least with pressure in the game. But as the game continued, Trilogy started popping off, getting these picks. Devanga was virtually untouched most of the time, and they slowly figured out how to better team fight, the back to front. They were able to get the more precise picks to win the fights and allowing them to scale into the late game. So just overall, I think it was down to team coordination that really pulled that through for them.
Yep. So with that, OGR stay alive, and now we have our last game of the day coming up. It'll be Power Flashes versus Piltover Pokes. That game, if Power Flashes win, they play themselves into the 3rd seed. If Piltover Pokes win, that's going to eliminate the Power Flashes and give the 4th seed over to Oklahoma Gold Rush. So the stakes continue to raise here for the playoffs. GSM in danger now, since they lost this game, of falling into that 4th seed with with Power Flashes winning. It's all very confusing, sorry. But we'll be right back in just a minute. We'll hope to clarify everything for you. But it'll be Power Flashes versus Piltover Pokes in just a second.
Cool, 2 seconds.
Okay. fixing this scoreboard, and then I'll be ready.
When my roommate walked in, he saw how I had my monitors set up and stuff, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Alright, let me know when you're ready.
Radar.
Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the last game of the Gold regular season. It's going to be the Power Flashes versus the Piltover Pokes. Power Flashes come in at 3-3. With a win, they're going to clinch a playoff spot. They're going to clinch the number 3 seed from Demacia. With a loss, they're eliminated. Piltover Pokes really don't have anything to play for. They've already locked in that number 1 seed. A win here would secure an undefeated season, which is an accomplishment of its own, but not... You don't get money for it. You don't get a playoff spot for it. You're just really awesome. So,
Breaking rights.
Yeah. Power Flashes with everything to play for. Let's see how it goes. Are you ready, Otto?
R.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. As we spawn in, on the bottom side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars this game is going to be the Power Flashes. In the top lane, Worgen Knight playing Cho'Gath. In the jungle, Baby Carrot on Olaf. Sworn in the mid lane playing Victor. And Paladin and SP Pillars on Kaisa and Nami. And in the top lane, with a little bit of a role swap, Kilgar will be playing Ornn for the Piltover Pokes. In the jungle, Brinticus on Pantheon. I was about to say on Power Flashes. Jeez. Okay. Majestic Emu in the mid lane playing the Anivia, and Alarm and Silercia in the bottom lane playing Xayah and Morgana.
Yeah, so once again, I see we went back to the normal comp, so maybe it was just that first meme game where those bot carries came back into play. So we'll have to see which one kind of comes out on top. I look at the bot lane because I'm an AD carry, and honestly, that's usually where these games are won. Do have some early invading coming through from Kilgar and Emu. Just dabbling a little bit. Not going to fully commit.
Yeah, Majestic Emu just securing that bush. I'm kind of interested. We haven't seen Brinticus really push in. He's got the Ghost Poro available, but Majestic Emu grabs the ward onto the blue buff, so they'll be able to track where Baby Carrot's starting. And it looks like he's going to check off of that blue buff. I don't know if he was over there just to guard or to see what was going on, but he's not going to start at that blue buff. Instead, they're headed over to red.
It was the bait.
I was interested. We were about to see something other than horizontal jungling. Maybe.
Meh. Yeah, pretty standard start coming from both sides with bot side leashes as they both come back into the lane. We'll have to see how well they're able to play. I feel like going down the list, top lane, how do you feel about the top lane, honestly? Do you feel like one side has more advantage than the other?
So Cho'Gath is the traditional counter to tanks, I guess, if you need to play a tank yourself. Because the the true damage on his ultimate means that you can negate a lot of the tankiness that your opponent has. It just makes him a pretty good matchup there. Ornn is pretty good at dueling though, so it's not as cut and dried, whereas Cho'Gath's really good against like Maokai and Poppy and insert other tank. Anyway, Bubble's going to land the level 2 from Paladin and SP Pillars. Gives them a little bit of advantage, and they'll grab some extra damage onto Alarm in the process. But yeah, so it should be Cho'Gath favored, but Ornn can outplay early on.
For sure. So basically, another island in the top lane has Baby Carrots and Brinticus. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I kind of meet each other in the river, probably fighting over the scuttle, but who wants to watch that when we can watch top lane? Brinticus actually going deep into the enemy jungle, looking for Baby Carrot. I'm going to pan over there myself. He's looking maybe at the blue buff, because he's already picked up both of his buffs. He is going to back off, though. Just applying some pressure against Baby Carrot at that point.
Yeah, this is actually a super interesting jungle matchup. Normally, Pantheon, you would think one of the strongest champions, basically like levels 1 through 6, 1 through 3, like whatever matchup you want to see. But Olaf is also in that category. Like,
For sure.
especially as he gets lower, he becomes more dangerous with the attack speed buff. Kilgar sees the gank from Baby Carrot coming. The Undertow will land just for a little bit of damage onto Kilgar, but able to successfully back off.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they're able to get anything. Right now, Majestic Emu and Sworn battling it out. Emu coming out ever so slightly on top. This will be an interesting battle because Anivia not that prevalent in the early games until she's able to get a few tier stacks and a couple items under her belt, and especially with that level 6 spike. So we'll have to see if Sworn's able to do anything in the meantime.
Yeah, I am kind of interested just in the OSU comp in general. You have a lot of scaling and late game focused champions. The Ornn very good in late game with the initiation. The bubble gonna land. We're not gonna get to talk about it though. As Alarm gets ignited, the counter ignite from Silercia as she's auto attacking down on SP pillars. Brenticus is here looking for that dash forward. He'll grab it. The Heartseeker Strike needs to come out for the damage. Nope, Brenticus just walks under tower, takes an extra tower shot. Paladin grabs the passive proc, but it's not enough to finish him off. Silercia and OSU Alarm trying to escort their jungler back out. Meanwhile, Sworn and Majestic Emu in the mid lane. The flash from Baby Carrot will secure the egg onto Anivia. Kilgar's gonna... Oh, that wasn't Kilgar. That was Majestic Emu able to teleport out with Agnivia.
These are actually some excellent plays coming out. And my mouth is full. Oh man, a lot of respective summoners being burnt in the bottom lane though, because it almost felt like, am I going to be allowed to talk? Oh, Kilgar is going to have to flash away from Warg Knight in the top lane. But back to the bot lane, every time something was about to happen, they would actually use their summoner before it did, and so that's actually what let Brenticus survive that tower dive, even though he was sticking down to the ignite.
Anyway, as I was saying quite a bit earlier, you have a lot of scaling options if you're Piltover Pokes. You're looking for later game with the Ornn and the Anivia and the Xayah picks compared to your opponents, but then you have the Pantheon. I guess fits into the team composition to try to make sure that you have some early game presence and don't get rolled over.
For sure.
In the same way that all those other champions scale, Pantheon doesn't.
Yeah, but you really want to try and snowball the game in that case. I see him being used as that catalyst, as you were saying, bridging them from their not so great early game into the mid game, into those team fights. Just as long as he's able to actually do anything. With most of his lanes shoving up far under the turret, it's hard for him to actually do anything.
Yeah, Baby Carrot's here, just going to grab the Undertow onto Majestic Emu. The Predator popping should chunk down a little bit of damage. Actually, that's a lot. Baby Carrot's still forcing through. The Undertow might secure the kill. He's got one more available. There it is. And the Predator pop from Brenticus as he's just a little bit too late on the rotation. So that's first blood going over to Power Flashes.
Feels bad for Majestic Emo. He did a really good job the first time he was ganked, disengaging with the sick teleport as he was in egg form, getting himself out, but now Baby Carrot knows that, and so he was able to follow up with the repeat gank and get a decently easy kill. So just not enough respect coming from Emu because he keeps pushing up that lane. So when he comes back, we'll have to see if he decides to keep doing that, and if Baby Carrot returns, or if he decides to play it a bit more passive until he has that ultimate.
Yeah, I was also going to talk about how it might be difficult for Baby Carrot later on in the game with the Anivia wall and the little tiny pillar from Ornn to find a successful method to run at people, which is all that the champion does. But he's done a good job so far. He's found 2 successful ganks into the mid lane, despite that wall existing.
Yeah, and in the early game, especially in the mid lane, the wall's really good from Anivia if you can place it next to another already existing wall, because then it's just an extension, whereas if you place it by itself, especially at its early levels, it's really difficult to block anything off in the mid lane because it's so open. So it's really dependent on Majestic Emu's positioning and seeing if he's able to position correctly to get those walls up as he's being ganked.
Kilgar keeps getting interrupted while he's just trying to make some items. Just let the man forge, man.
Let him forge. Hashtag trademark.
Anyway, we haven't seen a whole lot out of Brinticus yet. We've seen Olaf be on the map a couple of times so far. Haven't seen that huge gank from Brinticus, even though he's got the targeted stun. We saw him almost kill himself in the bottom lane, but
Yeah, building off that, I would feel like they aren't taking advantage of him enough. Because
Baby Carrot's back in mid lane. He's here for the return gank. He's got Ragnarok available if he needs it. Stun up. That might be enough to force it. Yeah, Brinticus just here to throw a spear at him. Sworn drops the Chaos Storm just to make sure that there's no follow-up.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, because even though that was better by Brinticus being there for the counter gank, I still don't feel like OSU is using him to his full potential, in the sense that you can't just expect your jungler to gank. You have to be able to set up a gank for him with how you set up your wave. But meanwhile,
Hammer Boy bouncy time coming out. They're going to knock Worgen Knight up, into another knock-up, into the stun, into another knock-up, and Kilgar secures the kill.
there we go. And that's a good example, because where was the wave when Brinticus ganked? It was next to their own turret. Kilgar was actually pushed in a little bit compared to the rest of the game where he's been pushed up. I'm never going to be able to complete this thought if they keep fighting.
Yeah, Bubble lands onto Celercia. Paladin has the Killer Instinct available. I don't know if he has enough mana to go for it, or if he'd really want to in that situation. But a lot of good poke going down onto Celercia in the bottom lane. Actually, neither bot lane has been back. They're still just sitting on the regular base items.
Yeah, this would be actually kind of scary if they were to bring one of the junglers down with everyone. Yeah, everyone else has managed to back, but the 80 carries have stayed, and they're already level 7 with still base items. That's interesting.
And especially Brinticus has the Mandrop Express available, and you can just put that right behind power flashes and look for a really easy 2v2 without them having items or mana or a whole lot going for them there in the bottom lane.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that OSU's bot lane is continuously pushing in, and that is not where you want your wave to be if you want to gank. And so I think if they were to let them push, just let them come a little bit more forward, then Brinticus would have an easy man drop into the behind them to actually pull off a successful gank.
Well, Dark Binding lands onto SP Pillars, but Ebb and Flow will keep him very healthy. Baby Carrot's in the area, doing his Krugs right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're finally becoming more and more aware of this bot lane.
Oh, here
So
comes
there's
Brinticus. He's just waiting over the wall. The
Ooh,
Mandrop
there we
channeled
go.
behind. Paladin's going to get stunned up by the Dark Binding. Another teleport coming in as well. That'll be an easy kill onto Paladin. Teleport from Kilgar being channeled as well. He's got the Ornhorn available, knocks up SP Pillars, and they'll be able to finish that one off with the Featherstorm. Baby Carrot just hanging around the outside, not able to grab the undertow onto Celercia, but the collapse from Oklahoma State able to grab the kills, and now potentially the first turret.
And that's exactly what I wanted to see when they're so far, they weren't even that far forward, but even in the middle of bot lane, it's actually really difficult to run away from a Pantheon ult because of the casting time and everything. So with that, they're able to get a couple kills and the first turret. Now we got to see how this Cho'Gath is doing in the top lane though, and if he's able to get anything in return.
Yeah, let's just take a peek up at that tower.
Ooh, it's close.
Yeah, it's getting there. Majestic Emu's on his way up to try to stop this. I don't know if you can immediately bully the Cho'Gath off of the turret, though.
I'll decide to back off.
Yeah, he's got a...
Ooh,
Oh,
good wall.
yeah, really good wall. Is able to force the flash out of Worgen Knight, so not able to do a whole lot there. He's already got 4 stacks of that feast.
Yeah, Worgen Knight is doing a great job of farming up, and I think, honestly, that's why Kilgar decided to TP down, even risking his turret, because he knew that if he was able to actually contribute to the team, then he would be able to snowball his bot lane and try and get them really into this game, rather than just slowly falling more and more behind in the top lane.
Yeah, Baby Carrot gets spotted on the Rift Herald. In return, it looks like Piltover Pokes are going to opt to try to find the Air Dragon. This is an interesting trade situation. Majestic Emu teleports back into the mid lane. SP Pillar, Sworn, and Paladin are all grouped around the top side. That'll be the Air Dragon. Oh, the wall! That was interesting. SP Pillars couldn't quite maneuver there, but is able to slip through the gap and not get stunned by the Flash Frost.
How fishy.
Man drop is
Ooh.
coming into mid lane. Sworn is in trouble. Just takes so long to channel.
I know, it's insane. But I'm secretly grateful for it because I would probably die a lot, a few more times than I have in my entire career if Pantheon dropped a bit faster. But they did actually get the Air Drake, and they're now at this almost 1k lead across the map.
Yeah, it was a good pickup, though, for Power Flashes. They grabbed the Rift Herald in exchange. So not letting the objective fall without getting something in return in this particular case. They unfortunately had to earlier on with the kills on the turret in bottom lane, but grabbing the Rift Herald for themselves means that they have a potential opportunity to open up the map for themselves.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I didn't even notice the Rift Herald, so hopefully they're able to use that in a really impactful way so then they can catch back up with these turrets. They're only down 1 at the moment, but that's still a lot of pressure in their bot lane that they don't have anymore. And with most of the bigger objectives being on the top side, like Baron, you don't want to always be sending somebody bot lane to answer for that, because then you're always short a person. So we'll have to see what they do next.
You have inside information that says the first Hantholt in bot lane was indeed bugged and invisible until he was about to land. Ah, this inside information. I won't question it. Not coming from one of the players in this game, for sure. Anyway, everybody farming up. The farm advantages, honestly, for Power Flashes are pretty substantial. It's allowed them to keep the gold even in this game, despite being down 2 kills in a turret. And now Power Flash is looking for that mid lane turret. The flash away from the Flash Frost, though, from Majestic Emu. He didn't flash. I phrased that terribly. Paladin had to flash away from Majestic Emu. There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult when Anivia herself, she really does start to scale up, and they're sending her to the bot lane right now to push out this wave. So with 4 people on
oh, Baby Carrot's going to drop the Rift Herald here in mid lane. They've got 4 grouped up for Power Flashes, compared to just 2 right now for Piltover Pokes, and Majestic Emu can't join. Still half cooldown on that teleport. Shelly's going to ram into the tower. Can they finish it off? There it goes. Okay. Just needed the extra swing plus a couple auto attacks. But mid lane turret for Power Flashes evens up the gold completely.
Yeah, not going to be able to get anything else off of Shelly, unfortunately, as Emu just got back from shoving in the bot wave, so Sworn will have to go answer that as well. Kilgar in the top lane, though.
Kilgar looking for it. Not able to grab the rim. Just the silence, I think, was enough to stop him. But the extra Bellows Breath will be enough to secure the kill for Kilgar. The solo kill in the tank v tank matchup.
There we go. That roam of his really paying off. Being able to pick up... I don't know, actually, because he is behind in the CS, but just overall being able to outplay him in that top lane.
Yeah, I think part of that is the itemization. The Abyssal Mask is such a good item against Cho'Gath. Basically, none of his abilities other than that ultimate are going to do much damage, plus you get the extra damage on your own. I don't... The Cho'Gath dead body inside the turret was a nice touch there. Anyway, Brinticus is rotated up to top lane. They're trying to take down a couple of turrets at once and really pop open the map, but they have to be careful. Here comes Sworn from the outside. Gravity Field, not going to do anything other than mildly inconvenience Alarm.
Yeah, we're at the point in the game where most of the turrets are, the first turrets are slowly falling down. It's just a matter of pushing them and grouping together. Both 80 carries are pretty darn close to one another. The only difference being is Alarm has 1 kill above Paladin, but even still the items are exactly the same. The mid laners are still stacking up the tiers. top laners are still wailing against each other, barely coming out on top for Kilgar with a couple kills in his favor.
Yeah, I am
So-
kind of interested, Sworn's build in particular, with the tier is going to give him a little bit better late game scaling than you normally see on Victor, who already is a pretty good late game scaling champion. Majestic Emu going for the double scaling items is nothing out of the ordinary for Anivia, but
Right.
maybe the tier is just to match Anivia. Oh, ult coming into top lane. Kilgar gonna grab the ram onto Worgen Knight. Now Brenticus is trying to fight this one out. Worgen Knight has the execute available. If he can get this off, if he can get either of them low enough. A couple of auto attacks coming down, but now Majestic Emu is here. He flashes forward and feasts down onto Brenticus. Kilgar and Majestic Emu should be able to finish this one back off. Auto attacks, not enough. No, he's walking out of it. In mid lane, though, the Tsunami comes out as Silercia is in trouble. The ult not going to do anything to Baby Carrot as he's in Ragnarok.
Worgen Knight made it out.
Yeah, Worgen Knight made it out. The extra auto attack from Majestic Emu, not enough to finish him off.
What a feels bad situation. I think Kilgar was trying to give over the kill. Either that or else the no mana was really hindering his progress. And in the end, he just walks away. Sure, they get the turret, but that was a 1v3. He should be dead.
Yep, they grab the top lane turret. At least they get the extra prize on the little prize on the end. They're going to lose bot lane for it as well. So Power Flash is doing a good job trading evenly. They grab the extra kill as a result of everything, and they'll extend their gold advantage out to about 1,000.
It is a very tight game so far, and we're 20 minutes into the game. Both Baron and Dragon is up, except it's only an Ocean Drake. I don't see either of the teams doing Baron. If they start it, what?
They have to know that, yeah, they know that Piltover Pokes are on the Dragon right now. This might be the trade of the century, though, if they can do this. The Art of the Deal coming out. Nope, they're not going to be able to burn down that Baron fast enough. But they might grab Majestic Emu as well. Kilgar with a big ram, though, as they're looking to turn this back around. Anivia has made an appearance and will be scrambled. Now the ultimate coming in, though. The turn from Piltover Pokes. SP Pillars is down. Meanwhile, Sworn and Alarm are dueling. That's going to go the way of Sworn. Baby Carrot's running away. Silercia is so low, but she's into the stopwatch. Worgen Knight now trying to auto-attack down. The slows coming out. Brenticus able to dash forward. Doesn't kill off Paladin, though. Paladin flashes back away. Now Kilgar's on the wrong side of the fight as Worgen Knight has been such a tanky boy. He's just tanking everything as Sworn's able to rejoin. Does he have the Death Ray available? Not able to land it. Oh, he does land it onto Silercia, but it's not enough damage. Knockup lands onto Kilgar. Do they actually have it to chunk through Kilgar? They do. Worgen Knight's taking up the tower, though. Kilgar will go down. The tower will go down. Power Flashes grab the team fight win. Oh!
Ooh, and the snipe almost takes Morgana out. What a crazy team fight. That was lasting forever, and it all started with a bait at the Baron. Man, how did...
It was just so weird that individual 1v1s and 2v2s that broke out during that team fight. There was no cohesive battle lines that were set. It was just people brawling across the Baron area.
Right, and that makes it difficult, especially for Alarm, because out of all the people that he could have ended up fighting, I guess Sworn isn't the worst person, but Sworn's 3-0. Zaya's still not popping off. She only has the one item, which is good, but it's not like the greatest in the world. So eventually actually gets taken down and wasn't able to contribute anything to that team fight, and Worgen Knight just takes it away.
Yeah, Worgen Knight, the quiet hero of that team fight, able just to stand in the front the whole time and make sure that he was zoning off several members at once from Piltover Pokes. It was a really good team fight from both teams, but it'll extend the gold lead out for Power Flashes out to about 2,000 gold. They keep getting these little incremental gold leads off of the fights.
Yep, and that's what they needed, honestly, because earlier in the game they did not have any gold lead, with all the waves kind of losing for the most part, honestly. So now as they're coming together as a team, it's really going to shine through as Pantheon starts to fall off now, not being able to make an impact earlier.
Baby Carrot unfortunately had Baron aggroed on him there, so gets chunked out but has some honey fruit to keep him back safe.
Honey fruit coming in clutch.
I was about to ask a really stupid. I was gonna ask what flavor honey fruit was, and then I'm like, well, it's honey.
It's actually raspberry.
Oh, that's surprising.
Confirmed by Rito. Jeez.
Anyway, Baron Vision right now definitely in favor of the power flashes. You can see a lot of defensive vision for Piltover Pokes, but they haven't been able to get out of their own territory in order to get those deep wards or even like medium wards down. Power Flash is doing a really good job controlling the vision in the areas where they're looking to fight.
Yeah, the next big objective is definitely going to be Baron. So it'll be all about how they set up around this Baron, the vision that they control, and especially the waves. Right now, Power still has control over their mid lane first turret, which will actually provide them a lot of pressure when it comes to the waves.
Yeah, OSU kind of just following the waves around right now. They have 4 of their teammates are topside. They have Ornn split bottom, of course. Both Morgan Knight and Kilgar have teleport available, so they can rejoin their teams if necessary.
So in this case, if you're on the side of OSU, what exactly are you looking for in this point? Because we gotta say that Power definitely has the advantage at this point. They have the gold lead. They're down a couple of dragons, but with that mid turret still standing, they have all that pressure. So as Oklahoma State University, what exactly are you looking for? What's your next step?
You're flipping the analysis onto me. This is tough.
I am.
I think you have to look for picks, honestly. You have Pantheon and Morgana. So you have 2 big catalysts for being able to find like 1 or 2 isolated people and enough tools to be able to eliminate them. I don't think in a head-to-head 5v5 team fight at this very moment you're going to win. I think power flashes are just a little bit stronger with the Kai'Sa and Victor spikes that they've hit. So I think you're looking for 1v1s and 2v2s. Meanwhile, this is 3v3 in the mid lane. We're going to watch Majestic Emu and Sworn fight, though, near the Baron pit. The Ornhorn hit 3, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, as Alarm's still healthy. Well, not healthy anymore. Taken down to about half, but gets healed back up. Morganite is here. They have double Righteous Glories. The Olaf and Cho'Gath both running in with authority. Sworn actually isn't here. He's kind of hovering in the middle of Baron Pit. That was a huge knockup from that Rupture, but they're not able to follow up.
Yeah, this is difficult on the side of Power. They're trying, they want these fights, but their only engage is literally Baby Carrot and Morganite running as fast as they can at him. Probably why they got the Righteous Glories. Now with Infernal Drake up, though, I feel like they're in a good spot to just run over and take it and finally claim a dragon for themselves.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive OSU wants to be. They're going to find 2. The pull back in on Celercia out of the gravity field. Sworn senses blood. He goes forward and grabs the kill with the Death Ray. They'll grab the kill and the Infernal Dragon. They lose the mid lane turret, though, as Majestic Emu and Alarm with the heads-up play, able to grab that inner turret, or the outer turret in mid lane.
This hasn't been the bloodiest game in the world, but I gotta give props to SP Pillars because these bubbles have been on point throughout laning phase, and now in right before that team fight, a double bubble to get a pick for him.
The caster curse. He gets taken down by OSU Alarm. The gravity well actually doesn't enable Kilgar. He's not able to hit the ram back. Worgen Knight now split pushing in that bottom side. It's going to force the teleport out of Kilgar.
Interesting.
That's not an unimportant cooldown. Now you can't match if you're OSU unless you throw Majestic Emu down there isolated against Worgen Knight.
Yeah, I was gonna point out earlier that a big problem with having Brinticus on your team is that if he shows up bot to make it a sudden 2v1 and try and find a pick with his man drop, then that just completely leaves the top side open. But now with Kilgar, without his TP even, that really leaves the top side open because there's just no way he's going to get up there as fast as Cho'Gath will.
Yeah, you almost need to isolate a Nivea against Cho'Gath. I don't know if that's the safest choice you can possibly make, but either that or if you're Kilgar, you have to just continually be fighting Worgen Knight and make sure that he cannot channel that teleport and just hope in your team's 4v4. let's go with that. Which team has the better 4v4 without the top laners?
Oof, I would definitely say power in this case. Um, yeah, no, I don't feel like Brinticus, he has a decent scoreline. He's keeping up in farm, but I just don't feel like he's been that impactful, and especially being Pantheon, the baker of bread, he just falls off in the later game. This is just how he naturally devolves through the game. So if it boils down to that, I definitely see power taking the advantage in that case.
Yeah, and this is, I think, the smart lane assignment if you're OSU. They have Majestic Emu now assigned to that bottom lane for the split push with the teleport available. It's risky because you just risk Worgenite being able to run down and munch on some chicken rather than whatever Orn is.
Well, it's frozen chicken, so I recommend cooking it first. But
He's from the void. He doesn't really care. He'll take anything he can get at this point.
Oh man, but at this point, I'm looking at both of the teams and I'm trying to figure out what exactly they're thinking, what's going to be their next step, and honestly, it doesn't really look like there is anything besides Oklahoma State University is finally deciding that they need some control over the Baron vision. So we'll clear out a pink ward. Other than that, it's just been wave clearing for the past 4 minutes.
Yeah, Cho'Gath, I think he's had this push advantage in the bottom lane. That turret is super low. Well, not super low. It's a little over 1,000 health. I don't know if you get really cheeky and you just rotate a second person up there to try to take the turret, what you lose for that. They found Sworn, though. Kilgar and the Mandrop come in. Sworn just tanking this up. He's got so many shields. Baby Carrot's here to try to turn this back around. Brinticus is going to be the first one to fall during this fight, and Silercia gets caught on the other side. Meanwhile, SP Pillars and Worgenite are able to rejoin. Kilgar is here as well. Majestic Emu gets turned into an egg. The gravity field pulls one back. Worgenite feasts down onto Majestic Emu, and now Kilgar is the target. The Undertow over the wall doesn't finish off Alarm, but they grab 4 kills out of nowhere. Sworn stayed alive for so long at the start of that fight.
Alive. I honestly don't. I do know how Pantheon, unfortunately, it was an excellent ultimate. We thought he was caught out, but in the end, Nami was actually close enough to give the redemption, give him a bit of health back on top of Sworn's Victor shield, and survives through the entire fight, and they all come out on top, are able to get 2 turrets in response, and now this should be an easy Baron.
Power Flash is peeling out. You don't have Feast available, but you have Baby Carrot's Smite. Brinticus will have Mandrop here in a couple of seconds if they really want to get spicy here. I don't know if you risk that necessarily, but he's got it available.
Well, now they know for certain. By the time he channels it, Baron's probably going to be gone already. Morgana's going to go for Q a bit early, and Sworn actually secures the Baron onto the side of Power Flashes.
Yep, Victor with the good Smite there.
Right.
But regardless, they did a good job zoning out, and nobody from Piltover Pokes could get over the wall without burning a flash. And if you burn that flash, that's a one-way trip. So it's not one that anybody from Piltover Pokes were willing to take, so they lose the Baron, and now Power Flashes have the map for the next 3.5, 4 minutes, however long this buff is.
Yeah, and when you're contesting a Baron, you really got to decide, is it worth me flashing in, probably dying, but potentially stealing the Baron? Or is it worth it for me to stay alive and try and defend instead? So Oklahoma deciding to go for the latter, trying to defend. They will lose another Infernal Draken most likely, as Emu's pretty far away. They should be able to start this up and burn it down pretty quickly. Now
you have Feast available as well, and even with Feast, it goes over to Paladin. I'm not sure about some of these smites this game. But regardless, it's secured. That's 2 Infernals now for Power Flashes, and they're looking to burn it down mid with their Baron buff.
Only problem is when you're pushing, especially against an Anivia, you have to have all the waves pushing. So you can see him back off here, smart play. It'll delay the game for a while, but Cho'Gath, Worgenite, is going bot lane to get that wave pushed out, and Sworn going into the top lane to get top pushed out, because the wave clear is just too darn good against Demacia, even with the Baron buff.
Yeah, and now,
Ooh.
oh, they Silercia just deleted at the start of that fight, but the man drop channeled back in. They're going to grab the pick onto Paladin as well. It's a 1-for-1 support for AD carry. That's a positive trade if you're Piltover pokes.
For sure, I thought that was great by Paladin. Saw the Mantheon drop coming in, so decided to just completely destroy Silercia, but the flash quite a bit questionable, just underneath the Pantheon ult a bit more. Probably was hoping to ult out, but never had the stacks to do so, so this is going to really delay the game even more.
Yeah, Morgan Knight
Even though they have the
not
double.
able to push in that bottom wave either. He's regrouped with his team, so you're not even getting that split pushing right now if you're power flashes.
For sure, and at this point, Oklahoma really should be looking to continue this somehow, especially with Kaisa down, one of their main damage sources. Obviously not the biggest at this point, but it still puts things in favor of Oklahoma if they decide to fight. Easier said than done.
Yeah, there's no teleports on the map right now, so anybody who's split, I don't want to say is a liability, but they can't rejoin immediately. The first teleport up will be Majestic Emus, followed shortly by Morgan Knight.
Everybody's back up. Paladin has managed to regroup with the team. Everybody has Baron buff. Top lane's pushing in. This is looking good.
Yeah, Baron
They
buff
should be
is
able to pick
gonna
this up now.
Baron buff's gonna time out here in like 15 seconds though, so this will be it. Yep, there goes Baron buff actually right as they take the inhibitor, so they get the maximum value they could out of it at least, and now they're gonna roll through topside.
This would be good though. Looking at bot lane myself, pretty sure that's gonna, yeah, that's gonna push against power flashes, so they're gonna have to try and play through the top and mid lane in order to close out this game. Probably look for another team fight.
The Anivia wave clear is just so good, combined with the little bit of wave clear that Xayah and Ornn can combine. They've destroyed that wave before it could get onto the turret. There was, what, 6 damage done?
I mean, yeah.
So this doesn't feel like a successful push for power flashes, is the long and the short of it. We'll see if they can find a dive, maybe. Morgan Knight is very tanky. He doesn't have Warmogs yet, which is something that you'll normally see at this point. So Kilgar's the only one who can really sustain poke right now with his.
Yeah, this is tough, but since they got the mid inhib, that does mean Oklahoma is on a clock. Those super minions will be barreling down the mid lane faster than you think they would. In fact, they're almost there, in which case someone from Oklahoma is going to have to respond and make it a 4v5.
Paladin
so
able to QSS back out of there. The knockup comes through. The Pantheon ultimate wasn't... Anyway, they're going to jump back in. No kills just yet, but there's one as Morgan Knight able to feast down one. It's 1-for-1 so far as Paladin looking to turn this back around. Agnivia will go down next. Brentic is in trouble as well. It's a double kill for Paladin, a triple kill for Paladin, and they'll clean it up. A 5-for-1 fight for Power... Oh, 5-for-2 fight. Unlucky. But they'll
honestly,
clean up...
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, that was excellent. And in the middle of all that, Nami with another bubble, getting 3 of them to close out the game finally, 18-10, in the favor of Power Flashes.
So Power Flashes with the victory secure themselves a playoff spot. They secure the 3rd seed. What this is going to look like, we'll go ahead and just throw up the quarterfinals match on screen. Actually, let's get closing thoughts on this game first.
Closing thoughts for this was, it was pretty difficult for Oklahoma to really get their comp rolling because Pantheon wasn't able to make that impact that he wanted to in the early game. And on the flip side, Power Flashes did a really good job holding off until they were able to hit their own personal power spikes and then slowly take control of the game, eventually finishing off. So one team was just able to play to the strengths a bit stronger than the other.
Yeah. So our quarterfinal matchups look like this, showing on screen right now. The Piltover Pokes still secured in that 1 seed. They're going to take on the 4 seed from Noxus. That's Jingo Squad Gaming. The 2 seed from Demacia will be Tastes Like Purple. They'll fight Bingo Squad Gaming. Hopefully those two teams don't get confused and play the wrong people. It happens. Um, and then our 1 seed from Noxus, which is the hardest road, will take on Gecko Slammer Armageddon. And the victors of this game, Power Flashes, have a tough matchup in store for themselves as they take on Propulsion Esports. With that said, we're looking to live cast as many of these quarterfinal matchups as possible. Uh, so get that scheduling in, let us know, and we'll try to be there to as many as we can. If we can't get to them for some reason, they'll be streamed on at the normal time on Saturday. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. I think everybody knows where to find me at this point.
Mhm.
Thank you, Otso, for joining me for the casts today. Hopefully you enjoyed them. If you liked listening to Otso, please consider following his stream. It's twitch.tv/Otso Live.
I always love showing up. I'm slowly learning the teams. I mostly just know my man Scrambles, but I'll figure out everybody else eventually.
So thank you guys for joining us today. That's going to wrap up the Gold regular season. I really enjoyed casting it with all of you and enjoyed playing in it. And yeah, we're ready to turn it up to 11 for the playoffs. We'll see you guys on the next cast, which we don't know when it's going to be because it's going to be a live cast. Oh no, actually the next cast will be tomorrow. It's the diamond from week 9. Um, I believe it'll be Vid and Mark Hames. I'm not 100% sure though. Hopefully he's got a co-caster today. Anyway, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.